Q again. You. It don't feel like they turn the air down in this bitch today though.
Air don't, yeah, they're not, like something about the nighttime.
Damn, dog. Last time we gotta get some consistency though. We on?
Yeah, we good.
Oh, we up?
Yeah,
man, no, let go.
Right. He didn't even
He did it again. He didn't give me the countdown. We gonna get it right one damn day around here. But look, y'all see this. Y'all see the shirts. Y'all see the shirts. House United. You see it. Show it. You see it. Put it down. Go and get it. Designs on the go. GEAUX.com. You understand? Go ahead and get it by my man. I'm over there at Bayou Promotions, Daniel and the boys. Y'all go over there. Y'all go ahead and get it again. Designs on the go. GEAUXgo.com. Hey, this is a big game, man. This is the first ever LSU, SU, uniting the city, uniting black, white, uniting everybody. So y'all go ahead and support. It's not a divisive thing. We're keeping the money in the city. So I'm getting some money. People that ain't never been in Tiger Stadium coming into Tiger Stadium. It's gonna be a great unity, a great celebration, regardless of who wins the football game. It's gonna be a win-win for all. So go ahead and purchase your shirts, man. Go ahead and turn up, get ready to go for the football season for both SU and LSU, but mostly for this game right here. Let's bring all the leaders together on both sides, black, white, SU, LSU, hell, the state, wherever you at. Come down and make it something memorable so we can do it again. Let's do it again. Let's have SU on the schedule every year. Let's have Grambling on the schedule. Let's have, some of these teams that's here, these HBCUs that are not fortunate enough to get these big paydays. Let's keep that money in the state and go ahead and reward these guys. That's where we at right now. Y'all see the shirts. Let's go get them, baby. Look how I'm sweating on the thing, dog. It's hot as a motherfucker in here, man. Seriously, I know. I'm going to have to change, dog. But look, we're going to be back with my main man. Definitely one of my, man, I've known Ro for over 20 years. Really good friend of mine. Definitely coming in the kennel. Has a son that's the top in the country. He too was a celebrated DN and one of those unsung heroes at LSU throughout his career, but a wonderful, wonderful man, husband, and individual, and my dog. We're going to have him on here coming up next on Where My Dog's At. We're going to also, I'm going to change too. We'll be back. Look how I sweated, dog.
So, well, I gotta tell you what happened. So, man, when they play that song, that fight song, man, we only play that fight song in the fourth quarter and the start of the game. Well, it was a time where they were trying to rally us because we were getting our ass destroyed.
Yeah, it was 13-0 at halftime.
The band played the fight song in the second quarter.
Sure did.
Man,
they absolutely
that
did.
goddamn song got in my bones, and I started having a goddamn out-of-body experience. And I told Coach Saban was walking, and I told Coach Saban, Coach, I want to play. And he looked at me and said, "Why not step behind the line?"
So shit, if he's gonna come out and do that every time, now come back and backtrack and try to call Jimbo. I talked to Jimbo personally about this, and their friendship was a friendship that was more professional. Yeah, business. You know what I mean? Professional. Not we gonna spend time in the off season and with our families and all that bullshit. It was, very professional. You coach for me. We learn from each other, that type of thing. We know each other's bullshit also. I know your bullshit, you know mine. So why would you bring that up? You know what I mean? Why would you open up that can when now they going to dig into your shit? So now they're going to dig into all the bullshit. Guys could come out that's disgruntled with you, could come out and say all kind of bullshit. Guys that you just offered that bag to that didn't take it and went somewhere else and took the other bag. Now they could come out and say, you know what I mean? It's just all that shit. So why not keep all that in house? Hot topics, dog.
How you feeling,
Hot topics. Let's get into that right now. What we talking about right now is, myself, I played for Coach Jimbo Fisher, and I also played for Coach Nick Saban at the twilight of my years at LSU, transferring from Coach Jerry DiNardo. And I've spoken about this a couple times. We got to turn the air up down in here, dog. Damn. I've seen Coach Saban, honestly, get into a few spats with coaches, with players. And the one person, honestly, and everybody know Jimbo's my guy, but the one person that I've never seen back down is Jimbo Fisher, right? So for Coach Saban to go into the kind of rant that he did, but I think it was a very strategic, a very planned rant on his part. I don't know if the name calling part, I think somebody might have slipped him a Mickey or slipped him something before he got on that podium. Because for him to call out Jimbo and then call out Deion Sanders, which has put all his efforts into trying to revitalize the HBCU and trying to bring notoriety and some platform to those guys at the HBCU level, for him to call them guys, and especially for him to call them guys out after, dog. Coach Saban been winning the damn recruiting war and the recruiting battles for years now. Do we really think that he's winning those without the under-the-table deals that's now on top of the table? I mean, it's college football. You've been dominating the sport recruiting-wise and coaching-wise for a while now. So my thing is, damn, you talk about parity and you want everybody to catch up. Well, parity is happening. You know what I mean? Parity is happening when it comes to the Texas A&Ms, the Clemsons, the Ole Miss, these teams that used to be in the middle of the pack, and now these teams are now stepping up to the plate because of NIL. And the question, and that's why I said when he was at this this meeting that he was having, it was for boosters. You know what I mean? It was how you talking about somebody else's money and you there begging for money. You there trying to get these people to, or you trying to let them know, listen, these guys, the reason why they took 4 of the top 8 guys that we were going after, and they are edge rushers and they are defensive players, it's because they got more money. It's because they offered these guys more money. Their NIL deals were better. So open up them textbooks and let me get this money. You know, whether it was that angle or the angle of trying to, like you said, get some kind of parity for the NCAA or the federal government, whoever the hell, to come in and regulate what they're doing with the money. I say this, man, you better catch up. Big dog, the what's his name? Vamp Life, who he lived that Vamp Life, who did our logo. I'm trying to get him to send a logo so we can get our shirts printed. I know you watching. Send a logo, dog. We're gonna give you a credit. Send a logo. We need them shirts printed ASAP. We back at it, man. And like I said, we got my dog. We both roll. We both roll. That's Roshaun Matthews. One of my, I don't even know how to put it, cuz like even before our kids were involved with your daughter with volleyball, my daughter with volleyball, your son football, his son and my son are at McNeese State right now. Shout out to McNeese State. Well, even before that, man, I played 2 years with Ro. Ro was 1 year he left. Ro was one of them guys that I told my kids the other day, right, when all of them was around, we was talking, even when those guys were here, Ricky and them boys, and I told them, when you get to school, try to find that one guy that you know does it right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The example. And for me, you were one of those guys. You were one of those guys that went about it the right way, even when shit hit you hard, even when you faced adversity, even when it was unfair, adversity, adversity. You know what I mean? So, you know, man, and even just our own talks and things that we've had personally over the years. When I got out of football and was getting ready to go into the concrete business, and you had already been involved, dabbled in it and all that, and just, you know, just trying to find your way after football and getting over, for me personally, getting over some of the disappointments of not reaching my own personal goals throughout my playing career, especially in the NFL. So just, you know, having those conversations with you, and also K-Falk, you know, very invaluable times of just sharing things, of you guys sharing things that you guys have gone through to help me out in my situation, man. So it's great to have you on the show, my G.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Finally made it to the kennel. I was supposed to be here last week.
Yeah, man, we missed you. We had Woodlawn very well represented in here. I'm gonna just say that.
Talking a lot of trash too. I heard him.
Yeah, man, them and Ricky. It was a good time, man. But what's been up, bro? How you been?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. I'm here and glad to be here, man. Thank you for inviting me through. And you're right, man. When you sit back and think of it, man, we've been knowing each other a while, man. You know, so the crazy thing about it is I still feel young. So, but and then our lives are intertwined in so many different ways, because, like you say, each of our kids knowing each other, playing with each other. You know, they may be a year or two apart in separate sports. It's just kind of unique how that all and came back full circle, man.
Yeah, I've been able to give back, and you know, everything that you know, you already know, man. Everything that you've help out with in the community, and with just everything that you do now. So let's go ahead and take it back a little bit. God, it's hot, dog. You hot, bro?
I'm good.
It must just be me then, dog. Look, let's take it on back to the beginning.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The beginning of playing ball here in the great state of Louisiana. Some of the I'll tell people all the time, man, when it comes to football and talent, you know, we always talk about California, Texas, Florida.
Right.
Of course, the great state of Florida, predominantly what, Stu?
He ain't saying nothing.
Predominantly the 305Z, 786Z, 954, throw that in there. We do some ball out there. But that 504 is something serious. 504 is something serious. I'm going to throw the 337 in there for you too, OP. I see you looking at me sideways. Ain't nothing coming out of Dallas. We're not worrying about Dallas right now.
God.
We got a little something come out of there. Shout out to my dog, Twink Dog, that was in here the other day.
Yeah.
You taught Twink Dog some things too now.
Man, Twink, that's my dog for real.
Yeah.
Bro. That's my dog for real, man.
Yeah.
Man, the crazy thing about it, man, first thing come to mind with Twink, man, Twink, I can remember, and I know we'll get to it later, but when I transferred to Southern in 99, and then in 2000, when Nick Saban took over, became coach, and Twink played for him. And Twink, I came over there to the weight room one day to see Twink and all the fellas. Twink said, man, bro, man, Coach Saban would have loved you. He would have loved. I said, man, what, for real? You're not just juicing me up, aren't you?
Yeah.
He said, no, man. He said he loved them tweener guys, them guys that do a little bit of everything.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
That's right. Dog, you would have been perfect in that. For real. Because, it wasn't, he used you to your skill set. I'm not going to ask you to do nothing he physically or mentally thought you couldn't do. So that was the big thing there. Twink ain't lying. Twink was definitely 100% correct. And since you brought that up, so you signed with LSU.
Yep.
Right? So who did it come down to?
For me, so obviously, you know, with the rise of social media and how stuff is today, it wasn't nothing like that back when I was in high school. But I played here locally at Christian Life Academy. School just, you know, unfortunately closed down a little while ago. You know, same school Michael Clayton went to. He's much younger than I am.
I remember Christian Life.
And I could remember, it's a big deal nowadays when these kids get offers, right? But back then, you didn't really know if they never said you had an offer.
Right.
You just knew if a coach came around and was asking about you.
Your school.
He came to your school.
Right.
You know, okay, well, so Christian Life being a single A school, a small school, the school had been in existence since '81. And I actually was the first person to sign an athletic scholarship of any kind in the high school history.
From Christian Life?
From Christian Life.
I never knew that. So you're in the record. You're in the history books, baby.
Yeah.
I actually played Christian Life in high school.
Y'all lost?
We lost to him my junior
course
year.
you
We
did.
beat him my senior year, though.
Okay.
What high school?
Hanson.
Yeah.
What you do, Stu?
What I did?
Yeah.
My junior year, I think I had 13 tackles against him. And then my senior year, I think I had like 12.
And y'all won
And we won
your
my
senior year.
Yeah, we beat them bad my senior year, though.
Oh,
It was
I wasn't there.
revenge, though.
I know.
It was a revenge game. Had to get
Revenge.
that get back.
Had to get that get back, baby. That get
Yup.
back. Absolutely. Hey, that's impressive, dog. The first. That's
Yeah,
dope.
man.
That's dope. That's dope. So then you choose LSU. It came down to who?
It came down to, I had all the in-state schools at this time. I remember Mississippi State, Baylor, and maybe one or two of them. I'm not remember.
Because at that time, LSU wasn't popping.
No. Now, they had a good defense. They had a real good matter of fact, the defense in 1994, that was my senior year in high school, they were the number one defense in the SEC. The offense just was sputtering, you know. Then Curly Hallman, he was the one who originally recruited me from my 11th grade year and my senior year. Then they were on the hot seat. He was on the hot seat, he and his staff. And then they let him go that year.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously
Jerry D.
they hired Jared Donato. And when they hired Jared Donato, the biggest thing for Donato that they were telling him was around the media and stuff, we remember hearing it around town, was keep all the talent in state. Quit letting people leave, like how people left, like Warwick Dunn left the state. You know, yeah, certain people was leaving the state. So he obviously, when he got the job, the first person he went to go see was K. Falk,
Yeah.
right? And K. Falk was that dude. He was very special.
Right.
So when he got K. Falk to commit, then you had cats like Todd McClure, who was at Central committed. You had Marquise Spears committed. And you had Rondell Millie. Then I started seeing that too. Yeah. So I actually, man, looking back on it, to be honest with you, Southern Miss was probably hotter on me than anybody. They
had a good defense, huh?
They had a good defense.
They always did back then.
And they actually were putting out at least one or two people in the draft defensively, like pretty much all the 90s. It was called the Black Swarm or something like that. When they wore the all black uniforms.
Yeah.
And
They was raw.
yeah, man. Yeah. But you know, I grew up most of my childhood here in Baton Rouge, and you go to school every day. And man, you go to LSU, you go to LSU. Everybody at church, you go to LSU. Everybody at my mama's job. Tell them go to LSU. Tell them go to LSU.
Right. Go
You
to
know.
LSU.
Go to LSU.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of how it happened. Though.
So when you get to LSU, now, is it what you expected?
Well, it kind of was. I mean, as far as like school, you know, it was a much bigger school. Me going to a real small high school, man. My graduating class was 69 students.
Damn.
It was my school. It was a good high school, but it was like that old show Saved by the Bell. It was small.
Yeah.
So you go to LSU, and you know you could walk across campus at LSU and never see the same face twice.
100%.
So I enjoyed the school aspect of it, but you know, looking back on it, man, you know, I didn't accomplish all of my goals there athletically, but it was a chance to grow, and I needed that.
Growth. Well, I think that's the big part of what college is about. You know, I think that the athletic part of it, I think that a lot of people get lost in the fact that you come to school and you're on a full scholarship and it's football. So, you know, it's mostly, you know, the fans and the people that have that pressure on them to win these games, you know, and they forget that you still have to go through all the steps and now go play football.
That's right.
And, you know, still maintain and still live up to that scholarship.
That's right.
That bit gone.
That's
you know,
right.
so a lot of people think that scholarship is for 4 years. That scholarship isn't for 4 years.
No, sir.
You know, that scholarship gets reviewed and poked and prodded every year.
That's right.
And Hammy better not be hurt too long, dog.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? So
And you better be making some good decisions, some wise decisions
yeah,
off the field
correct,
too, or they go
correct.
send you home.
And you know what? You should be held to a different standard, you know, but at the same time, it's like grace is something that definitely has to come into play when you're dealing with these young men, and especially now that they've implemented all this NIL, and now you're putting large sums of money into the hands of kids, basically, that aren't educated to handle that.
Correct.
You know, so I know you have your thoughts on that. So you choose to go with LSU, you get to LSU, and it is what you thought it was. At what point, point there did you think that, you know what, I should be playing? Because I know I had those, everyone I think have those times where, and you have the times too when you know, you may not say that shit out loud, or you may not voice it, because an athlete, as where we were bred from the beginning, is to not admit fear, not show fear, not show feelings, you know what I mean? Be tough, all that what comes with, you know, playing the game. But at some, like for me, as you know when, okay, yeah, I ain't ready to play. I don't know this, I don't know that. But at some point, you was like, you know, I was like, shit, I'm ready to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? When that hit you, when you was like, you know what, I should be playing now.
So I think the point for me was probably in my redshirt freshman year to probably most definitely my redshirt sophomore year. So like in high school, not only coming from that small single A high school, but I had never played. I never put my hand in the ground. So I was a stand-up linebacker. I was a middle linebacker, you know, and I played tight end on offense. You know, at small school, you go both ways.
For the people that don't know, standing up linebacker, and now he's saying that he had to put his hand in the ground, meaning now he's going to a rush in. Two totally different positions. And now, guys, that's why Twink said what he said about you, because you could have done both of those things. That's what he's talking about with Saban, because Twink did both of those things.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And did it well.
So it did it great. So back to my point, the people that don't know, how big of a difference is that? Because, you know, guys do that now, and you'll have some people say, oh, man, why he can't why he can't do this, why he can't that? What's the difference between standing up and either rushing or with that hand down, having to look inside and watch that ball? You know what I mean? What's the biggest difference for the people?
So, man, the biggest difference is when you standing up, you have a total different view of everything, and you even if you drop as a regular linebacker, you know, you're mainly going against your tight ends, your fullbacks, maybe slot receivers, okay? But the moment you put your hand down in that dirt and you move forward on that line of scrimmage, and now you're in the SEC, so it's somebody across from you that's average size between 6'4" to 6'8", anywhere from 300 to 330 pounds. And pretty much your bicep is like the size of his forearm. And when they get their hands on you,
It's over.
oh, you know their hands on you. So the first thing you realize, oh yeah, mama, look, Dorothy, this isn't Kansas anymore. Oh yeah. So like for my senior
Trenches,
year,
baby.
yeah, my senior year,
I respect them linemen. Shout out to you, linemen,
Oh,
boy.
man.
That shit, listen, them trenches, serious, boy.
Oh man, I was 210 soaking wet. My senior year of high school, reported at 220, and I got up. The heaviest I got up to was 245 in college. But yeah, man, you had to learn how to use your hands, use your gift that God gave you, speed.
Yeah, God gave you.
Right.
Yeah, that was your advantage.
And you better use
Speed
it.
and good hands. I remember that about you. Speed and good hands, baby.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
your first start. how were you the night before? I ask everybody that because I remember like my first start the night before, bro. I ain't sleep. I ain't sleep at all. You know what I mean? Like before Auburn, I ain't sleep at all, dog. I ain't sleep at all. Like I was in that playbook till like 4 in the morning. I ain't getting no sleep. And honestly, was not tired. Like was not tired the entire time. The night before that game, I probably slept like an hour, 45 minutes. Total. From the time, you know what I'm saying? You already know the procedure. From the time you finish, then you leave meal, Friday night, go back, have your little team meeting or your individual meetings and shit.
Yeah.
About 9, then they give you a little snack 9:30, lights out at 11 or whatever.
Right.
Dog, from like I slept from like 1 to about 2:45.
Yeah.
And then we're up the rest of the thing. Wait until the morning time for breakfast.
Anxiously.
Waiting, bro. So how were you?
So, fun fact, trip you out.
Fun fact, y'all.
I never started a single game in college.
Ain't that something?
I was second team, special teams, and this was actually 2 universities all the way through college. And I know you remember we always had depth. LSU never lacked talent,
Especially
never.
at the D line.
And so, shoot, man, I played with
Especially
some
at the
dogs.
D line.
You know.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
So my time we ran a 4-man front, obviously, and my time there, you know, you had Chuck Wiley, Booger McFarland, Kenny Mixon, you had Mike Sutton, and that was later when
Jay Green.
Yes.
As we came in
Yes, Jarvis. But when I came in, you had guys like James Gilliard, you had Gabe Northern,
GB,
you had
Big Zoo.
Man, these dudes was animals,
Yeah, they was animals.
and we were so deep.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
Out of our first team and second team row,
Yeah.
out of those 8 guys, 7 out of the 8, Johnny Mitchell, 7 out of the 8 made it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Made it. That's how deep we were. And it's the same time we had at running back. Just to give you an example, because everybody's very familiar with that. Man, we had Kendall Cleveland, Kevin Falk, Rondell Miller, Cecil Collins. Like, we had so much depth.
It was depth, bro. There was a lot of depth.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of depth. We had depth all across the board on the offensive line, too. Even
Correct.
the young guys that came in, you know what I'm saying, after you
Correct.
left.
Correct.
What went into your decision to part ways with LSU?
So,
Because, I was there. So
Correct.
I seen it not just with you, but
Mm-hmm.
with, guys, Ed Dangerfield, Michael Hayes,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying, Chris Cooper. Like, I seen it, Nemesis Bates, all the guys. I seen it with all kind of guys. But what was it for you, though?
So with anything great, you have this window of opportunity. And I believe my window of opportunity had passed because you had the emergence of a youngster like Jarvis Green, who did phenomenal his true freshman year.
Monster, man, 97. Big Green came in with me. He was a monster.
Yep. And
He was a monster, honestly.
And the coaches, you have such a flooded amount of talent that come through every year. Man, look, when your window of opportunity hit, if you not striking, or if you more of a developmental person, or if you can still contribute to the team, but man, look, next guy come, the next year he hot, bam, he's starting. You might be fighting for playing time,
Right.
So, but in '98, remember we started out number 7 in the nation, and
We fell off, dog.
we fell off.
Man, talking about underachieving that, yeah. But you know what, though? What a lot of people don't know, and I would say, it was so much turmoil, though. Inner turmoil, like as far as, like, I remember that, though, dude. Like, we hated the coaches hated the coaches. Like, it wasn't a good situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't, and then we were losing,
Right.
underachieving. The game plan sucked. It was a total just a meltdown from the inside. Bro.
Correct.
That shit was terrible.
And coach was on the hot seat.
Yep.
So by that time, man, I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to still be able to get my degree.
Right.
And I can remember the year before I got to my senior year and academically, I remember telling my mom, I'm out. It's time for me to move on. No, stay there. Just get your degree. Stay there. She would tell me that all the time. And it got to the point to where I just told her, I said, you know what? When I get this degree, you're going to leave me alone, right? You're going to leave me alone? Yeah, I'm going to leave you alone. Okay, so when I get this degree, I'm going to go wherever I want to go. All right.
Got it and bust.
got it. Got in and left out. But I'm glad I did listen to her. I'm glad I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I had put so much time into it.
They always know best, bro. At the end of the day, moms, shout out to moms. Moms know, bro. It's like they have that thing, bro, and they just be knowing. So you decide to leave, you get over there to SU. And I know the facilities weren't like where you was coming from. I know all that weren't like you was coming from, but, and I don't know this because we haven't talked about this, but this is what I'm hoping you say. I'm hoping you say, and I want to know how was it, not from that standpoint, because I know that standpoint. You know what I'm saying? That ain't, at some point, that really doesn't matter.
Correct.
So for you, I'm hoping that when you left LSU, went to that situation, I hope in that situation for you that I made the right decision and I'm at peace, not because of football, but I'm at peace because I'm at peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I'm good. I feel good. I'm not being disrespected. I'm not going through the eggshells. I'm not going through the things that make me feel the way I was feeling before. Because, bro, correct. I mean, I think that at some point, if you play ball, especially if you start, I didn't start young like some people. I started at freaking high school. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if you play long enough, at some point, either you get burnt out or you get tired of the bullshit.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like when I hear, and you see sometimes, you see guys, such and such quit. This person quit, and then people be like, why did he quit? He's 25, or he just got in the second year of this, or woo-de-woo. I mean, you know, like you always say, if you play, you can understand why.
Right.
So
right.
You tired of the BS or you burned out.
Correct.
And in today's, so for you, when you left, went over to Southern and got there, got settled, and it hit you, okay, I'm here now. What was that like?
Man, it was just a lot of, just elation, man. I was just a weight off the shoulders.
Yeah.
And I had made up my mind, that, man, I had to come to a place of forgiveness. I had that much built up inside of me, because
for LSU.
Not for LSU, but for a couple of the coaches.
Gotcha.
Because, everybody that knows me, especially that played on the team with us, and you could attest to this, when they told us, don't skip class, don't fail drug tests, yada, 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 I did it all what they said do.
Right.
Pass class, on time for every workout, every meeting, these different. But as I'm older now, I know the Lord have us go through things for a certain reason to tell our story. And but man, I made up my mind. I said, man, when I get across town, the great thing about it was my parents could still come see me play. My family could still see me play.
Wonderful. Yep.
And then so it just was a weight lifted off my shoulders, man. And the great thing about it, and I'm glad you asked me this, man, those guys welcomed me with open arms, man. Those guys was like, yeah, man, we know about you, and stay. Come on over, man. You want us now. And even with Coach Pete Richardson. Lord. Shout out to Coach Richardson, bro.
The legend,
man. Coach Richardson.
Coach Pete.
Man, he opened the doors for me, and he said, and he was real with me from day one. He said, man, I'm not promising you going to start. He said, but I am promising you a fair chance at playing time and to come be part of something special. I said, Coach, I'm all in. Where I signed.
That's all you want here.
That's all I want.
Yeah, that's all you want here.
Yep.
And so how was that experience of playing and with the guys over there and the camaraderie and everything you built like that?
I'm going to sum it up this way. In all my years of playing football, from Little League, middle school, high school, all the way up to the different leagues I've been in professionally, the single one season that I had the most absolute fun was that 1999 season at Southern University. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt.
That's what I wanted to hear, dog, because you know what, bro, like, you deserve that.
Right.
You deserve to have that. I know what you went through at LSU. I know the BS that went on. That goes on with a lot of people.
Correct.
And I know you're not just, you know what I mean? Like, we know it goes on with a lot of people, but not because, I mean, hell, at some point, everybody think about transferring.
Yep.
Especially if you're going through some, it's all good if you get beat out and if somebody just outright beat you.
Correct.
When you know it's a fair opportunity.
Correct.
But when you just know that you're not being handled right and you're not being done right, and these son of a guns done basically been capping the whole time, they've been recruiting you or the whole time, they've been talking to you, and what they've put in front of you was a facade. You know what I'm saying? It was their representative to get you to come there and to get you to do this and to get, and once they get there, they treat you like you ain't, you know, you're just another one. And so I get it, bro, and I get it, and I get it. So you go through Southern, you go through that, but hell, you still had an opportunity at the league.
I still had an opportunity.
Going through all that.
That's why I say, looking back at it, it was a lot of growth that had to take place. I'll be the first one to tell you, I had to grow up. Those 4 years at LSU, man. I wasn't perfect. I know I had a lot of getting bigger, stronger, learning, because like I said, I changed positions, you know?
Yeah.
So, but still had a crack at it. Still had a crack at it, man. Got a chance to be in, several camps and stuff, man. I was actually, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I was actually in New England.
Yeah, I knew you was in New England.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you was in New England.
K. Falk was up there, because even though K. Falk and I came out of high school at the same time, he was a true freshman. I redshirted. So he was there 1 year before me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went up there and was in training camp with him and stuff.
I knew you was in New England.
Yeah.
Guys from LSU always had a good, spot or a landing spot there or whatever, dude.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's always been a good little network or pipeline through there. And I also know that you was with the Saints. I know you was on the Saints practice squad.
Yep.
And everything like that. Now, that had to be, crazy to be from Baton Rouge and now I know you root for the Saints being from.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. So
Of course.
Being, because you could probably attest to it now, with guys like Teran Matthew and the big homie Juice. Juice. Shout out to Juice, man. You already know we shot. We shot Juice out, my dog, man. So guys like that being from here and having that opportunity to even just be in the Saints facility, you know what I mean? That
it was surreal, bro. It really was.
Dog, you from Baton Rouge and
bro.
you play for LSU, and I know it matter not going exactly how you, but just being a kid from Baton Rouge, playing for your hometown Tigers, and then having an opportunity to doggone go in the Saints facility, play for the Saints, put their shit on. That's dope, dog.
And you know what? Like a lot of people don't know this because when you look it up, it said, because I went to high school here, it says from Baton Rouge. I'm originally from New Orleans.
Why you think I said 504? You remember earlier when I said
yes,
the 504?
You did.
The talent in the 504?
Oh, man.
Remember when I said that?
It's endless. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I know where you started.
You did. The audience might not know that, though. But,
yeah, that's true.
But, man, look, I just being in the facility and stuff, man, and being around those guys and Michael Lewis and
was it surreal?
It was.
A little bit?
It was a little bit. A little bit, man. You sitting there, and this, Aaron Brooks was there at the time. That's when Jim Haslett was the coach.
Okay,
so,
yeah,
man. Jim Haslett was the coach. And had a workout for them and got a chance to be on their practice squad. This was in 01. This was actually in 01, man.
Okay,
so, yeah, man. So I had quite a few different stops, man. NFL Europe. Couple times, man. Got a chance to play.
Too.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I was in
Europe
too. I loved Europe.
Yeah.
I did, man. You know what I loved about it, bro? I loved the fact that the people were just learning the sport and they were so into it.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Like they were so into it.
Oh, man.
And it was crazy as hell that the stadiums were they were like way bigger than any NFL stadiums because they were all soccer stadiums.
100+ thousand.
That's what I'm saying. Easy. Every stadium was that big. And it was unbelievable to see the whole damn city come out.
Yeah. To
see, we had NFL fans.
That's right.
It was packed like that. It blew my damn mind.
That's right.
Really, dog. And they was, and then they had swords and bagpipes and
kilts and all
wonderful.
Type of noise makers and stuff.
Wonderful. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I loved the NFL Europe, man. I was mad when they took it away because,
Me too.
They didn't have anything else for guys to develop.
and to help them get in that back door back into the league.
That's exactly right.
I know that's how I got in.
Well, me too.
That's how I got in.
Me too. I went to NFL Europe. My last year with the Patriots. No, my second year with the Patriots. They sent me to NFL Europe. And that's basically like how, because I ripped that shit. We told NFL Europe up. So that like put a couple more years on me. You know what I mean? But it was just, you know, at the time, dog, I think at the time it was just what it was at the time.
Correct.
You know, but I enjoyed NFL Europe. I enjoyed the experience.
Yep.
Just going to different places, different countries, different cities, Paris, France, all that there.
That's right.
It was wonderful, man. It was wonderful. And I was mad that they took it away because it was developmental, but also it gave guys an opportunity to see some stuff that they wouldn't have seen before. You know what I mean? Like, you know, going with us on our F3 trips and taking the kids, we take some kids that all they know is like Baton Rouge or, you know, Louisiana.
And only certain parts of Baton Rouge.
Correct.
Got that. As small as it is.
Correct. So to get them out the city and know it's wonderful. To get them out to see another state and to compete against other guys and to see how other people work, you know, that is something different from here was that. So your career wrapped up when?
So I actually went from NFL Europe to camp with Baltimore Ravens, was cut from there. Then I got on practice squad with the Saints a couple months later. That was in 2001. The Bears actually called me up from practice squad in New Orleans, the end of 2001.
Called you up to put you on
to activate
the roster.
Me. Yep. Because you know back then when they call you from off a practice squad, they activating you. So I get up to Chicago, man. This is December of 2001 and first time up there. So, man, you know it's cold in December in Chicago, right?
Is it ever? Lord Jesus.
So, man, actually going into the 2002 season, man, training camp, second team. I made the 2 deep, special teams, everything in training camp.
You're a baller.
Dude, first injury I ever had in my life. You know, other than little nick stuff. You know, football, you get
major
injury, man. So knee swells up. They do the little push-pull test and all that. I'm like, man, what's going on? So, man, it ended up being degenerative, articulate cartilage in my knee, where it was just bone on bone. And I could actually remember seeing an MRI where it was cartilage fragments floating in my knee.
Wow.
And I was always an undersized defensive end, going up against guys much bigger than me. Like I say, man, you know what I'm saying? You going up against guys, they averaging anywhere from 315 to 335, these offensive tackles. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, at this point in time, I was about 260, 255, 260. And so it's a lot of banging. And I was never one to shy away from contact. You know, it could be short yardage, goal line, you getting in it, you know. And I enjoyed it, actually. But it was just the wear and tear. So it ended up being where they had to do a major scope. And I remember, man, just being so hurt, man. I was like, man, I can't believe this, man. And because I had come full circle with going through so much, 2 universities, a couple of training camps, NFL Europe, stuff like that. And but the general manager at the time, Jerry Angelo, he called me and he said, man, we're gonna put you on IR. He said it's gonna take you a while to get over it. They put me on PUP at first.
PUP.
They put me on PUP at first. When PUP ended, I wasn't ready to play. So I thought I was going home. You know, you can't make the club in the tub, you know?
Yeah.
I said, man, I remember being nervous, calling home like, man, I don't know, y'all. I might be coming back down there. Boom, they kept me. So that was a blessing. They was able to keep me. That 2002 season ended. I had done my rehab, my therapy and stuff, going to see the general manager. Well, Ro, you know, you hadn't played, man, in over a year.
That's Jerry still?
No, the general manager at the time was Jerry Angelo, Chicago Bears. This is when Dick Duran was the head coach.
Okay.
You know, Greg Blosh was the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah, so Brian Urlacher played with Lack. Yeah, man, good dude.
Briggs and all them boys.
Yeah, man, yep. And so he said, man, look, we could send you back to Europe and allocate you. Because the first time I went to Europe unallocated. I wasn't part of a team.
Right.
And teams picked
you was in the draft.
I was in the draft.
Right.
As an unknown.
That's tough.
And made it.
Yeah,
okay?
That's dope.
So this time I was allocated. They sent me over there. you know.
So the Bears allocated you.
They allocated in 2003, sent me over. So
Okay.
go to Berlin.
Germany. That's where I was.
The first
For
time.
1 year. You went there the first time.
No, the first time.
I was there the first time. I went to Berlin. Oh, shit. I was on there one time. Berlin.
Gotcha.
That's where I was at.
The first time I was in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Second time, Berlin. Everybody laughed when I said Amsterdam. Yep.
No, Amsterdam was crazy though, bro. Like Amsterdam, I went to Amsterdam was because I stayed over there a little while. Dog, Amsterdam was nuts, so bro. Like it was, like you would have what they call them, what they call the little
area.
Yeah,
Like you
downtown on the river. You'll have
Yeah.
a hospital. You'll have a nursing home or something. You'll have a daycare center. Then you'll have a whorehouse.
Yep.
Then you'll have a daycare center, a church, a school, a whorehouse.
Yep. The red light district.
What the hell is going on down here? No, that thing that was so crazy to me. The red light district.
Dude, you
That's
could be
exactly
walking.
right.
You could be walking in the city of Amsterdam, just downtown, just walking, and you just all of a sudden just smell it in the air. You could smell it.
Boy,
You could smell it,
listen.
and you would literally, I kid you not, you would be a block away from the coffee house, and you could
Yeah.
smell it a block away. You're like,
Yeah, I went in a coffee house. I sure did. I went in a coffee house. They called it the Pancake House. Listen, boy, I was in the Pancake House. Me and my boy Ray. Shout out to Ray, man, from South Carolina, man. He was allocated over there. We was over there. He was from Jackson State. That was my dog Ray.
Okay.
He was with the Titans.
Okay.
Dude, we went in the coffee house. It was on the water. Get some pancakes. So they give you a menu. The menu is for breakfast and then
the other stuff.
libation. Libation, rolled up.
That's right.
So you order for whatever you want. So you know me, I order pancakes, White Widow, bring it to me. So no, we in now. The police coming. Now we we sitting on the water. You know what I mean? Sitting on the water.
Yeah.
I forget where I'm at.
Right.
I'm thinking I'm out here.
That's right.
Poor look. Police came and I seen police. I threw that bitch in the water. Don't laugh, Stu. Stu, you know how you thinking, boy. I gotta, you know what I mean?
I get what you saying.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
in there. I'm just
it's
sitting.
that reflex.
Hey,
That's
Ray
reflex.
say, Ray, man, listen, man. We trying to survive this thing. That's what we used to. That boy Ray looked at me, and I looked back at him. I couldn't do nothing but laugh, bro. I couldn't do nothing but laugh.
Right.
Menu, please. Do it all, but I know what you mean, bro. Like that was an eye opener going over there.
It
dog.
was.
Amsterdam was wow. It was everything everybody said it was.
Yep.
Real good.
And going to Europe, leaving the country, that was my first time leaving the country.
Yeah.
And I was, 22, 23. And you learn about those little sayings you hear over here, like the American way, or love it or leave it. Or, you hear all these sayings, these American sayings growing up, and you just say it, you never know what it means till you
Right.
leave. And you're like,
Right.
oh. And I remember just feeling like I was in a French book, because I had the double-decker buses and the bike lanes with the little bells on the bikes. And it was just,
The beer gardens.
everybody was on public transportation. Now, it was,
Yeah,
you rarely saw
no
vehicles.
cars, right.
Yeah.
It's true.
And every one of the taxi cabs was Mercedes-Benz.
Yep.
Like, I remember just like, man, this.
But the owner of Berlin was the biggest Mercedes dealer in Germany.
I could believe that.
Yeah, when we got over there, listen, I ain't even
believe
drive over there. Because the street's crazy.
That's right.
Did you go on the what's that fast street name? The Autobahn?
Yes.
Did you go on there?
Yes.
How was it?
So we were actually
I was terrified.
in a team bus. We were in a charter bus going to play from Amsterdam, going to play, I don't know, maybe Dusseldorf or somewhere, Frankfurt. We were going somewhere.
Galaxy.
Yeah. And they said, man, we on the Autobahn. And we looked around and said, well, I don't see what the big deal is.
Shit.
And all of a sudden, you see a
Dog.
little dot about a mile behind you,
Blinking is on you.
and it's
And they tell you don't switch lanes.
right.
Know what I mean? Like when you driving, they tell the foreigners if you ain't used to that shit, don't switch lanes when you see a car behind you. Make sure because it's coming faster than you think.
Yes.
Bro, I had to go I had got hurt. I hurt my ankle and they had to take me to the doctor. and I was in like a little Volkswagen, like a little Benz Volkswagen, because I had to put my foot up.
Yeah.
And this son of a, and the dude that was driving, old Army dude, because you know the base was right there.
Yeah.
Old Army dude, forget that boy's name, but he was taking us around, and he had to take me to the doctor. He was like, "You ever been on the Autobahn?" I didn't even know what the hell it was. I was like, "Nah, I don't know." He's like, "Well, the average speed is da 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 da." I was like, "Nah, dog, you ain't gotta go that fast. We straight. We ain't gotta, you know what I mean?" Dude, we got on there, and you gotta go fast.
You gotta move.
You gotta go fast. You gotta go fast. Dog, we was, you know
It's
what
really
you gotta
like
go
that.
fast. Yeah, that man, it's like you was in a race car.
That's right.
It's like you in a race
video
car.
game or something.
It's like you in a race car. So you end up there, you come back from there, boom, come back.
Come back. So I'm sorry. Over in Berlin, make the team, starting. Bam, knee swell up.
Same knee.
Same knee. So, and you know, by this time, you know, I think I'm a therapist at this time. I'm icing it myself. I'm trying to make the swelling go down. I know what to take and all this stuff like that. You know, I got to play, man. I got to go back home and play. Couldn't get it down, man. I dealt with it off and on. And the head coach was real patient with me because they liked me, you know.
You know, over there you get hurt, they send you home quick.
So that's exactly what happened.
Straight to Alabama.
Straight to Alabama, man. Straight to Alabama.
Right.
And I had to have that knee scope again, and that was when the guy who's real famous for doing
Dr. Andrews.
Andrews had a clinic group, and it was he and another doctor.
Oh, you was on Andrews early.
Yes.
Yeah, you was on Dr.
This is
Andrews
02, 03.
Yeah. The famous Dr. Andrews do all the surgeries out of Alabama.
Right,
Yeah.
man. So, and then, so I was at Health Salt, man, literally in Birmingham, Alabama, doing therapy for it, you know, still on with the Bears, all right? Then back and forth from home, they'll fly me up to Chicago, get looked at and checked out by the team doctor up there. And but that's when everything started turning down.
Yeah.
That's when everything started turning the opposite direction.
Yeah. The interest started slowing.
Correct. So cut from there. Later on that fall, when they made all the cuts and stuff in camp, later that fall, and then that was it, man. I did some arena football with the New Orleans Voodoo.
Yeah.
I tried my hand at
You
that.
played with Fave?
No. Fave younger than us. Yeah. Fave younger than us.
I remember Fave played with them. Shout out to Big Fave, my dog.
Yup. That was in 05, man. So that from New Orleans Voodoo in 2005. The season ended. I tried my hand up in Canada, CFL.
Yeah.
I was in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
All right.
Rough Riders.
And it just so happened, I knew it was over. And you had that moment, Ro, where you knew when ball was over. Mm-hmm. I knew when it was over. Mm-hmm. I literally knew when I was going through it. I said, you know what? I can't keep putting my body through this. Mm-hmm. And I was on so much pain medicine. I'm running down on kickoff. Now I'm trying to make a CFL team. I'm running down on kickoff, and I'm just like, I can't feel my body.
Damn.
I was on that. I was literally on that much. I was 28 years old by this time. All right, and I knew. I said, man, this. I was in Saskatchewan. I said, man, this is it. It just so happened that came home. Didn't know what I was gonna do. Now, never was lazy though, but Hurricane Katrina hits.
Yeah.
2005 Hurricane Katrina hits. I get on with doing disaster recovery work in FEMA, and I've been doing disaster recovery work off and on ever since 2005. Yeah. Still doing it today as well, too.
Yeah, the good Lord kept you, dog.
Kept me.
Good Lord kept you, dog, and that's what happened when the good Lord kept you. You ain't know what you was going to do.
Right.
Good Lord kept you.
Right.
And I know you're a man of faith.
Right.
All the time. That's some of the things that we've talked about over the years. And you talk about the experiences that we've gone through, that you've gone through,
correct,
particularly. And I know that we brought it up earlier. You have 2 sons and a wonderful daughter.
Yep.
That we was just talking about that plays volleyball for Red Storm. Was at U-High? What's that? U-High, huh?
She's at U-High.
Yeah, U-High. So we go through things. I firmly believe that we go through things to pass it on to the younger.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Your son's being involved in the sport now. What, once you finish, because we all did it, I did it, I know you did it. Once you finish licking your wounds and got out your poor me's and got out of all the reasons why this ain't happened, that ain't happened, and you know, all the shit you deal with.
What's next?
Right. And now you grounded, now you back focused, now you 10 toes down, focused on your kids, focused on your wife, focused on your family, the important things.
That's right.
If I may add.
That's right.
How have you used that to now, whether it's advise your kids, go about the things you go about to make these informed decisions, because you have super duper athletes.
Correct.
How have you used the things that you've gone through with them?
So I've always believed in giving back, man, and the thing about when you know this, when you played ball, when you were fortunate enough as we were to go to several different levels, and you have kids that's coming up, you can't just stand on the side and watch. You got to help. You got to help coach, and you don't mind. You want to do it, and that's why I do what I do today. That's why I'm hanging on the sideline with F3.
Right.
You hear me being so vocal. I don't know the first thing about being a defensive back, but
right.
I know I could tell them how to have a good attitude and do it over again. And hey, man, don't worry about it. It's another play coming.
Right.
Get
it's
ready
coming
for the
back
next
at
play.
you. You're right.
Get ready for the next play. And so that's why, man, I've always helped out, man, and even like so now with coaching D-line and you know with Marcus Randall over at Woodlawn.
Shout out to M. Rand, man.
Yes, sir.
They got a shot at the doggone state title this year with all them old animals and young animals out there. Shout out to their boy Chris Cooper with them 2 young animals he got over there at linebacker and DB. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them boys, man. Listen, shout out to M. Rand doing a good job over there with that crew. Coach Dez, man, shout out to him and all those guys, man, and the OC out there, everybody, man. Shout out to those guys out there doing a great job with that program.
Sir.
Have been for the last few years now.
Yes, sir.
So good job there. So you've instilled this in them boys. Now you got a son out there, McNeese.
Yes, sir.
You got the #1 cornerback in the state of Louisiana there at Woodlawn. What, if I may add, a decision coming up soon on where he's going to go to school, man. What, of any, advice have you guys done? How have you guys attacked this process as far as like trying to, you know, of course, get him, because one of the single biggest decisions you're going to make in your life.
That's right.
So, you know, I know from like you said, the things that we try to instill and work through, how have you and Jordan and Mom and everybody gone about, you know, just choosing where's the best situation for him? Not where you're going, none of that, but how have you guys gone to the process?
So the first thing I did with him, you know, I told him, I said, every school that offer you, they already doing their due diligence of checking you out. They're talking to the front office, they're talking to the janitors, they looking at your transcripts, your grades and stuff. I said, nah, you got to do your deep dive on them. And I told him I needed to find out what's important to him first. And that was important to me because I already had my time planned. You know, I said, listen, what's important to you? What's the top 3 things? And one of my high school coaches, his name is Greg Vandergrift. Shout out to him, man. He's actually
shout out to Coach Greg, man.
Yep. He's actually he's the head coach of Prince Avenue High School out in Atlanta area.
Okay.
His son is Brock Vandergrift, he's either second team or third team right now at University of Georgia.
Okay.
Quarterback.
Gotcha.
So Jordan and myself, he went to the camp at University of Georgia, and Coach Vandergrift called me, and he said, Ro, man, you know, these guys they really interested in Jordan. They want me to come, you know, and meet you guys over there and take the tour with you guys when you do the camp and stuff. He said, do you mind? I said, no, man, I hadn't seen you in years.
Right.
Please come. So he gave me the advice. He said, listen, he said, man, there's no way a 16 or 17-year-old could choose between 20, 30-something schools. You can't do that. Right. He said, you can't do that. He said, you got to help him qualify this thing. Find out what's important to him and then try to help him narrow it down. He said, you don't pick. He said, don't pick, but help him. You know, so the way I approach myself is I know what he likes and what he wants because he's told me, and I help him. So as an adult that's, you know, more than twice his age, I listen to what coaches say. I see things he might not hear, my wife and myself, and he would say, okay, look, obviously this is not what you're looking for because of us, and us, but this may be over here, you know. So that's kind of how my approach was with him. Plus, Ro, you already know this, I learned a lot with dealing with my older son, Joshua, you know, and Joshua wasn't fortunate enough to have an athletic scholarship coming out of Dunham.
Right.
He was a walk-on,
right.
and he earned his way going
right.
through Louisiana Tech, and then, you know, transferred to McNeese. And Coach Frank Wilson, man, shout out to Coach Frank. He did a good job with Josh and brought him in, put him on scholarship. He's doing phenomenal now in grad school and stuff, and it's his senior year over there playing.
Shout out to that boy Josh, man. I have seen the growth. You already know, man, from the times when he was working out with Ken, and Ken
That's right.
knew more, you know, before I got on. But just to see the work ethic with your kids are phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So shout out to you and moms for just instilling that in them, and the village that helped y'all raise them, because you already know, man, your kids' work ethic and just manners and just the way they carry themselves, especially when they're not around you. Similar to what you told me about Micah and being out there. And it's just, you know, it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing, and hats off to you and mama, bro.
It is, man.
For that, bro.
And you know, man, we give the Lord all the glory, man. We've been blessed.
That's who it's for.
We've been blessed, man. And that's the first thing I tell other parents, because it's to the point now where other parents come up to me and ask me stuff. And I'll tell them, I'll say, listen, you know, as kids, a lot of times, well, that's my mom, that's my dad. They don't know what they're talking about because all they hear is your voice so much from being a kid.
Yeah.
That's why the village is so important.
Yeah.
You got to raise them around like-minded people.
Right.
Parents, like, when I have my son around you, I know when I'm not around, you go say the things
Straight. You already know,
that I would tell him.
You already know, boy.
And whereas when your son not go listen to you every time, well, he got Coach Randall, or he got Coach Rowe, or he got Coach Ken Ainey, you know, and they saying the same, and it's all like-mindedness, you know. And so guess what? When failure is not an option, failure is not an option in our household.
Failure ain't an option. And can't ain't an option. 100%.
And they make it. They go forward, bro.
100%.
They go forward. But they're the ones that do the work. So, you know, hats off to them, man.
Oh, 100%. Because they got to take it, especially when you see so much more the other way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
From everything that we do, as many kids that we work with, you're going to see some stories that aren't as successful. And that's more than the latter. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to see it like that and to see the plethora of kids, and I love the young generation, dog. Everybody like our age always try to shit on or step on them and they let. I love the movement with this young generation. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. I love it, bro. I love it. So y'all got the announcement coming up, dog. Y'all got the announcement coming up, dog.
Monday.
Where we at?
Woodlawn High School Gym, 2:00 p.m.
Y'all hear it. Jordan the Great Matthews announcing.
D1J.
They in here screaming LSU.
Tried to get him to throw the L up there. He said, I'm out of it.
Listen, man, 2 p.m., right?
2 p.m.
Woodlawn High School Gym. Jordan Matthews announcement. Who is down to? I know he said it, right? He said it when he was here. Who he said? Michigan, Tennessee, and Texas. Michigan, Tennessee, and Texas. Listen,
LSU hat gonna be under
any
the
of those places, bro. Let me tell you what. Whenever your son and you know you've been there, you've seen the damn shit with all the charts and the makeups and what's this and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time, like when the people call us, like so everybody calls about these kids because they know we've murdered. And every time they call me about your son, you know what I tell them, dog?
What you tell them?
I tell them, I say he's a Sunday player. Right?
Yes, sir.
And the reason I say that is because when you look at what you want in an athlete, and I'm not just saying like a football player, an athlete.
Yeah.
You want work ethic, you want smarts, you want the measurables,
Correct.
right? Fuck, what else
All
we
three.
talking about?
Check
You know
all
what I'm
3
saying?
boxes.
And that's what I'm saying. You got a 4.3 student.
Yeah.
You have a 6'2.5" long cornerback. Instinctful, works hard at his craft, checks himself on all situations. And I'm going to tell you, I am biased, but not biased because of his dad. I'm biased because I've seen him
Right.
intimately, you know what I'm saying, and seen him work, and I know the kid's mentality. You saw when he was here how he answered questions and how he speaks. So that's the same thing that drives him on the field. And it's the same thing that drives Lil DJ.
Correct.
Even though one's a 5-star, one's a 3-star. But it's the same thing. That's why I jumped on DJ, because DJ's in the same mode. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, to me, and then the smarts, the makeup.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The makeup. It's all that. Everybody don't have it. So that's why I say that about that kid, bro. And honestly, you know when, to me, because you and I, you know, we talk about these kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, when Jordan turned the corner, as far as his mental, was the end of last season.
Yes,
To
sir.
me. And because that's when he started freaking going up and making plays
Correct.
on the ball.
Correct.
Like, you know, everything we play. So it's confidence in
Correct.
everything.
Correct.
Boy, that boy now, shit. it's gonna be a hell of a season.
Look like he bulked up too.
Oh man, that Joker, man.
He looks great.
I appreciate
Tell
it.
him don't cut his hair though, dog.
Yeah,
Tell him don't cut it.
No,
All of them say they
man,
wanna cut
I
their
like
hair when
it,
they go to
man. Yeah,
school.
tell him don't cut his hair, dog.
Listen, man. Look, him in that hair,
Yeah.
and you ought to hear Josh get on him about the hair. Josh
For
come
real?
home and be like, Jordan, what you doing with your hair, man?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you know that's a brother
Only,
thing.
yeah,
he just
yeah,
always
yeah.
picking
I
on
like
him. You know?
it though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. I like it. I think he looks swaggy. I think it's like him coming to his own.
It
a little
is.
bit.
It is.
You know what I mean? I like it doing it. He's a great kid, man. You already know how I feel about that.
Man,
young
I
He's
appreciate
a
it,
great
bro.
kid. All your kids.
You know the strange thing that a lot of people don't know about Jordan. In the ninth grade, he was ineligible because we lived outside the district then. He was ineligible to play varsity sports. Okay, that's the ninth grade. 10th grade, and then he was always going through these growing pains where he would
Of
have growing.
Yeah.
All right. So he would have like maybe a little soft tissue deal with one hip, or it might be, he really didn't have the knee stuff, but it might be the hip when he would run track. Loves track. And so was ineligible for varsity sports his 9th grade year. His 10th grade year, all Woodlawn played was 4 games in a playoff game because of COVID.
Yeah.
So you guys saw him this past season. This literally was his
Full
first
season.
time playing a
Wow.
full season.
That's crazy.
And even when the coaches, when they talk to me, man, his coaches, you know, still calling, still texting me. That's not in the final 3. And they'll tell me all the time, they say, man, that kid, he hadn't even hit his potential. He don't even know it.
Nowhere near.
He don't
He
even
ain't
know
even
it.
close.
Nowhere near, but his confidence is there.
Correct.
His
Correct.
confidence again. I could tell.
Correct.
You already know.
Oh,
I
he
could-
having fun.
He's
He's having fun, too.
a great
Oh,
time.
he having so much fun.
And that's good. He deserves it, bro. And that's what you get when you work hard.
Correct.
And you point out the kids, this is what happened when you work hard. He's a beautiful example of that.
Yes,
He
sir.
is the example. And, bro, your hats off to you, hats off to mama. You already know how I feel about
Thank
y'all, homie. And, Ro, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Man, look.
You already know,
I'm in
bro.
the kennel, baby.
You're in the kennel.
Thanks for having me, man.
You're in the
Look,
kennel. You're in the kennel. Come back anytime.
I will.
During football season,
will, bro.
we love cameos. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
They
sir.
pop up anytime.
Yes, sir.
It's always an open door policy.
And please believe me, I'm ordering one of these shirts.
Oh yeah. What's the name of it again? DesignsOnTheGo.com. Designs on the go, man. GEAUX.
I got to
For
get
go.
it, baby.
Yeah.
Being a representative of both
You
both
are
programs.
from both. So I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going.
Oh,
But
come
look,
on, it's
hey,
all
look. You are a great representative of both sides, and also, so you are the perfect one for unity in this situation. You know, it's been a lot of stuff about the tickets and LSU not giving Southern amount of tickets and putting them in the nosebleeds and all that type of thing like that. But this is the thing though, Ro. And you could, like, that's how they treat everybody that comes in for a home game. It's not, I want people to understand, it's not just because it's Southern.
No.
It's everybody. You're going to get terrible seats.
No, don't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not because it's Southern. It's not because they're trying to, it's because whenever you're the away team, you get terrible seats.
That's right.
You know, you really do.
In any stadium you go.
Especially
in the SEC.
Especially in the SEC. It's too hot of a ticket.
That's right. That's right.
But I am looking forward to this game. Now, let me ask you, how you feel? I ain't going to hold you much longer. How you feel about us doing this thing with them like every year?
I would love to. I've always thought to bring the city together, to bring all the communities together, the local communities. I know I'm not the one to make the decisions, but why have we not done this for spring football? We could have had a spring game or a controlled spring scrimmage, Southern and LSU. I can remember when I was in high school watching the greats like Eric Randall and Sean Wallace. All
Shout out
those
to
guys.
Iran. Boy, Iran was a monster.
Man,
Woo-hoo!
I remember watching
Shout out to
guys.
Iran, man.
Man, them guys, they've always had talent over there.
Yeah.
And the only difference, we know the revenue is a big difference, obviously, the resources. But other than that, when you look at it on the field, man, it's just way more depth at LSU. It's way more depth.
From starters to second and third. And once you get to second and third, it's a drop off.
Correct.
Now, I'm not saying all the starters are you know what I'm saying, the same cap. But you're right. Once you get to the depth, that's where it goes. It plummets.
That's it.
Right.
And then in the trenches, the O&D line.
The D line especially.
You know, Deion Sanders touched on that not
right.
too long
that's
ago.
100%.
The O&D line,
D
the
line
trenches,
especially,
man.
100%.
But other than that, man,
the athletes can be the same. I agree with that. You're gonna get the dogs out that swag, baby.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you're right. But you know what? It's the same thing when you measure why the SEC has been great for so long and everybody think they ain't. Is because the SEC dominates. You can say what you want on the outside. SEC dominates the trenches.
Consistently.
Especially on the defensive line. They dominate that shit year in and year out. That's why Bama's always at the top. Bama dominates the defense and offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
And then you saw Georgia D-line last year.
Big O.
Strong.
Georgia gonna be. Listen, we're gonna do a big roundup for SEC before the season start because you got some monster games coming up. You got some monster offensive lines. Like there are some really good offensive lines being built in the SEC right now. If you look at Texas A&M, you look at Alabama. Right, there are some monsters and low key. I'm gonna just put this out there. Low key. The University of Tennessee, it came on the rise a little bit slow last year.
Right.
But that offensive line, and that's what I've been looking at, the offensive line for the Volunteers are coming along slowly. And in order for you to build a program and to get that program back, and that's what you see Kelly focusing on, what he's focusing on, the trenches.
You got to.
That's all they talking about. I seen Big Jaquaylin Roy on the big billboard today. Like, Big Jack, baby. And it's the offensive line. Coach Kelly's focusing on the offensive line. Texas A&M got some shit going on out there with these offensive linemen. Lord.
And D linemen last year.
Lord
Jesus. D linemen they bought in last year.
5 defensive linemen, all five of them.
Alabama, they offensive lines in the SEC this year is going to dominate the play, and these defensive linemen are going to have to come with, just like you said, bro. It's going to be a wonderful year, college football. Watch for these offensive linemen, bro.
Can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous, man. So me and Ro going to be collabing all year. We will be at McNeese games.
That's right.
Then we collab in off-season volleyball, AAU with our daughters. Listen, this is my dog here, man. I appreciate you coming in, Ro. Thank you for coming, bro. Come back any damn time you want to, my G. Anytime.
Appreciate that, man.
We're going to be back, man. Jay, we got hot topics. We got hot topics coming back. One more time for my dog, the big Roshaun Matthews, man, in the building. Jordan Matthews, decision, where he's going to attend school. Saturday, right?
Monday.
Shit, got to stay off that Duce. Monday at
2
p.m. at Woodlawn Gym. 2 p.m. Hey, everybody be there, be square. The gym going to be packed. All media, make sure you get there early. He's the next up. He's the next big announcement up. Ricky Collins announced LSU yesterday.
That's right.
Shelton Sampson, LSU. A couple of days before that, we got Jordan Matthews, Colin Jackson. They have theirs coming up. Hey, and if I may add, all F3 guys.
That's right. I knew you was gonna say it in the
All
building.
F3 guys. You
Shout
see
out
it.
to you, Coach Rowe.
Hey man!
Shout out to Ken Anio.
Shout out
Doing their
to
thing.
shout out to FA man, Ken Anio. He laid up right now. Y'all seen he got the boot and stuff going on, but
My man
all
still be making it around though.
gotta
He still be making it
All
around.
F3 guys. We are very proud of these guys. These are the 15 you guys we had on that Raw 15 3 years ago. You remember it, Ro? We was running around all over the place. And they was 15 you, and they were just killing everybody. And now they're number one. So listen, proud of those guys and proud of you. Parents should be proud because y'all got them to this point. We just try to nurture and help them. But man, shout out to the kids because that's who did it. Like you said, Ro. Shout out to them guys.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be back, dog, for hot topics on where my dogs at. Who? Yeah. Coaches chimed in on that. Lane Kiffin chimed in too. Lane Kiffin was like, Lane Kiffin said his mouth was still wide open. It was 7 o'clock and he's still looking at the television. And the press conference was at damn 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So all those coaches chimed in because they were surprised at what happened with Coach Saban saying that. Because if you think about Coach Saban, everything that he does is very calculated, and it's to move the needle in his direction, in his favor. So I don't know if what his motive was. I would love for him to let us know what that was, or to come out so we can find out. I don't know what his motive was, but whatever his motive was, it was definitely something that he planned, in my opinion, just from playing for him and knowing him as friends. The coach is the most important play in this whole thing with these guys because one is new offenses, then guys are younger, guys are coming from different systems, coming from different everywhere. So that's the other fact that's going to come into this. Whoever picks this shit up the fastest, whoever picks this
It's
up
an even playing field.
Yeah, 100%.
Even playing field, because you talk about Miles Brennan having experience. He's had, 4 different coordinators in 4 years?
Yeah, but that helps him also.
Yeah, because that's just different terminology at that point. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
To bring back the Joe Brady one. That one worked. That one seemed to work.
Yeah, you adapt, man. You adapt to it. And Nussmeier, by him coming, his dad being a coach and coming from that pedigree and that background, this is also something that he should be comfortable with. I know he's young, but learning different terminology, concepts are basically the same.
It's just different verbiage.
Curl flat is curl flat. Goals is goals. You know what I mean? It's just different terminology. So that type of thing for them should get picked up pretty easily from Nussmeier, from all those guys. All those guys are smart guys. Miles, all those guys. They should pick that up pretty swiftly. But Nussmeier's advantage in this whole thing is, without a doubt, his legs. Without a doubt, his confidence. Without a doubt, his ability. And he actually reads defenses pretty good right now for the stage that he is in his young career. He picks up defenses and goes to the right place with the ball pretty good. His problem is getting them feet in line all the time or going there because he's so athletic. You know what I mean? So sometimes he just relies strictly on that quick twitch and getting that ball out, but he has to get his feet lined up. And also with him, he has to work on that accuracy as well. Topics, dog.
How you feeling, man?
Hot topics. Let's get into that right now. What we talking about right now is, myself, I played for Coach Jimbo Fisher, and I also played for Coach Nick Saban at the twilight of my years at LSU, transferring from Coach Jerry DiNardo. And I've spoken about this a couple times. We got to turn the air up down in here, dog. Damn. I've seen Coach Saban, honestly, get into a few spats with coaches, with players. And the one person, honestly, and everybody knows Jimbo's my guy, but the one person that I've never seen back down is Jimbo Fisher, right? So for Coach Saban to go into the kind of rant that he did but I think it was a very strategic, a very planned rant on his part. I don't know if the name calling part, I think somebody might have slipped him a Mickey or slipped him something before he got on that podium. Because for him to call out Jimbo and then call out Deion Sanders, which has put all his efforts into trying to revitalize the HBCU and trying to bring notoriety and some platform to those guys at the HBCU level, for him to call them guys, and especially for him to call them guys out after dog. Coach Saban been winning the damn recruiting war and the recruiting battles for years now. Do we really think that he's winning those without the under the table deals that's now on top of the table? I mean, it's college football. You've been dominating the sport recruiting wise and coaching wise for a while now. So my thing is, damn, you talk about parity and you want everybody to catch up. Well, parity is happening. You know what I mean? Parity is happening when it comes to the Texas A&Ms, the Clemsons, the Ole Miss, these teams that used to be in the middle of the pack, and now these teams are now stepping up to the plate because of NIL. And the question, and that's why I said when he was at this meeting that he was having, it was for boosters. You know what I mean? It was how you talking about somebody else's money and you there begging for money. You there trying to get these people to, or you trying to let them know, listen, these guys, the reason why they took 4 of the top 8 guys that we were going after, and they are edge rushers and they are defensive players, it's because they got more money. It's because they offered these guys more money. Their NIL deals were better. So open up them textbooks and let me get this money. You know, whether it was that angle or the angle of trying to, like you say, get some kind of parity for the NCAA or the federal government, or whoever the hell, to come in and regulate what they're doing with the money. I say this, man, you better catch up. So shit, if he's gonna come out and do that every time, well now come back and backtrack and try to call Jimbo, you know that I talked to Jimbo personally about this, and their friendship was a friendship that was more professional. Yeah, you know what I mean? Professional. Not we're gonna spend time in the off season and with our families and all that bullshit. It was, you know, very professional. You coach for me, we learn from each other, that type of thing. We know each other's bullshit also. I know your bullshit, you know mine. So why would you bring that up? You know what I mean? Why would you open up that can when now they gonna dig into your shit? So now they're gonna dig into all the bullshit. Guys could come out that's disgruntled with you, could come out and say all kind of bullshit. Guys that you just offered that bag to that didn't take it and went somewhere else and took the other bag. Now they could come out and say, you know what I mean? It's just all that shit. So why not keep all that in house?
So well, I gotta tell you what happened. So man, when they play that song, that fight song, man, you know, we only play that fight song in the fourth quarter and the start of the game. Well, it was a time where they were trying to rally us because we were getting our ass destroyed.
Yeah, it was 13-0 at halftime.
The band played the fight song in the second quarter.
Sure did.
Man,
they absolutely
that
did.
goddamn song got in my bones, and I started having a goddamn out-of-body experience. And I told Coach Saban was walking, and I told Coach Saban, Coach, I want to play. And he looked at me and said, "Wind a step behind the line."
But this opportunity was different. You have a chance to come to a place with unbelievable tradition, work for the winningest head coach in college football. Just be at a state. I've never been at a state where football's king, and if you just dominate your state, you're going to get some of the best players that there are.
Sure.
standpoint?
Yeah, well, I think it starts here, and we have a good bit of people on this particular staff who are from Louisiana, who know and believe in our hearts that this place produces the best football players in the country, and I think the numbers speak for themselves. Per capita, produce the most NFL players, you know what I mean? So even from an analytical standpoint, it makes sense to take the kids from here because the chances of them playing in the league are higher than if they come from anywhere else. I think our brand is super powerful, so we will have to recruit at a national level, or there's really no reason that we shouldn't, you know what I mean? Because if we can get a top player from another state who can help us win a championship, then of course, right? But I think it starts right here in Louisiana and then right here in Baton Rouge. There's some really good players who are still available that are right here in Baton.
So shit, if he's gonna come out and do that every time, now come back and backtrack and try to call Jimbo, that I talked to Jimbo personally about this, and their friendship was a friendship that was more professional. You know what I mean? Professional. Not we gonna spend time in the off season and with our families and all that bullshit. It was, very professional. You coach for me, we learn from each other, that type of thing. We know each other's bullshit also. I know your bullshit, you know mine. So why would you bring that up? You know what I mean? Why would you open up that can when now they gonna dig into your shit? So now they gonna dig into all the bullshit. Guys could come out that's disgruntled with you, could come out and say all kind of bullshit. Guys that you just offered that bag to that didn't take it and went somewhere else and took the other bag. Now they could come out and say, you know what I mean? It's just all that shit. So why not keep all that in house? Topics, dog.
How you feeling,
Hot topics. Let's get into that right now. What we talking about right now is, myself, I played for Coach Jimbo Fisher, and I also played for Coach Nick Saban at the hot twilight of my years at LSU, transferring from Coach Jerry DiNardo. And I've spoken about this a couple times. We got to turn the air up down in here, dog. Damn. I've seen Coach Saban, honestly, get into a few spats with coaches, with players. And the one person, honestly, and everybody knows Jimbo's my guy, but the one person that I've never seen back down is Jimbo Fisher, right? So for Coach Saban to go into the kind of rant that he did, but I think it was a very strategic, a very planned rant on his part. I don't know if the name calling part, I think somebody might have slipped him a Mickey or slipped him something before he got on that podium. Because for him to call out Jimbo and then call out Deion Sanders, which has put all his efforts into trying to revitalize the HBCU and trying to bring notoriety and some platform to those guys at the HBCU level, for him to call them guys, and especially for him to call them guys out after, dog. Coach Saban been winning the damn recruiting war and the recruiting battles for years now. Do we really think that he's winning those without the under-the-table deals that's now on top of the table? I mean, it's college football. You've been dominating the sport recruiting-wise and coaching-wise for a while now. So my thing is, damn, you talk about parity and you want everybody to catch up. Well, parity is happening. You know what I mean? Parity is happening when it comes to the Texas A&Ms, the Clemsons, the Ole Miss, these teams that used to be in the middle of the pack, and now these teams are now stepping up to the plate because of NIL. And the question, and that's why I said when he was at this this meeting that he was having, it was for boosters. You know what I mean? It was how you talking about somebody else's money and you there begging for money. You there trying to get these people to, or you trying to let them know, listen, these guys, the reason why they took 4 of the top 8 guys that we were going after, and they are edge rushers and they are defensive players, it's because they got more money. It's because they offer these guys more money. Their NIL deals were better. So open up them textbooks and let me get this money. You know, whether it was that angle or the angle of trying to, like you said, get some kind of parity for the NCAA or the federal government, whoever the hell to come in and regulate what they're doing with the money. I say this, man, you better catch up.
Do you suffer from chronic dehydration? Are you looking to improve your athletic performance and you need to get over and see our friends over at GoFlow IV? They're located on Jefferson Highway. Easy to find them online at GEAUXFlowIV.com. Make sure and use the promo code Jordy Collada Show. If you do, they'll take 15% off of your initial visit. Check them out online, GEAUXFlowIV.com.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks.
And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Woo, hot topics. We back at it. Woo, woo, woo. We are back. Had the big dog. Who I had a pot of donuts again, almost. We had
The
the boy.
Boosies, huh?
The little Boosie. Listen, hurry up over there.
Little Boosie.
Look at here, dog. Every time. Listen, don't laugh at me, dog. You know that's my problem child over there, dog. That's my problem child over there in the corner. Every week, every time.
My worst son.
Yeah.
I call teaching my worst son.
Golly, dog. Like you. We gotta have better etiquette with you.
Better etiquette, bro.
I'm gonna have to bring you to etiquette class. My little girl got some. Shout out to my little girl. Well, my oldest, my firstborn. She started. Law, what was it? She had law. Come here, Jay. What you had today? Law. She's finally here. Go to law school. Start law school at LSU, and she had what they call it? Who? Orientation. That's the word I'm looking for right now. Orientation. She had orientation today and tomorrow.
Orientation dinner.
She had an orientation dinner.
That's fancy, right?
Yeah, I know.
We ain't getting that for the regular students.
Orientation dinner. You ain't in law
students.
school either.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna have no
right.
orientation dinner. You gotta be special, dog.
That's what I'm
To
saying.
go there. Well, you gotta be special to go to orientation dinner. But shout out to little mama, man. She here doing the thing. Went to orientation dinner. Got some more going on tomorrow. Orientation tomorrow, all day long. Come back and then get going. So. Something we all look forward to. Very, 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 very proud of her for that. The food wasn't good though at the orientation dinner, and that's surprising, ain't it? This LSU, baby.
Yeah.
The South.
Sometimes.
Nobody get nobody no green beans with no pickle onions. Let's go. Let's do a little bit better. Let's go. So
green bean with pickle onions.
Yeah.
That don't even sound right.
I can see if they say it was smothered or something. You know what I'm saying?
they
Just with the pickle onions, ain't gonna get it. Right?
You want these onions.
We got a lot going on, dog, this week. There's a lot going on in Hot Topics this week. Jay, a lot going on from this to that. What we got? What you got for us?
Well, we did talk about it a little bit, but Ricky committed last night.
Ricky Collins.
Mm-hmm.
We had Ricky. Hey, we had Ricky Collins, the 5-star quarterback out of Woodlawn High School. We had him on here last week. Did any of y'all think he was going to LSU?
I knew he was going to LSU.
You knew he was going?
I told
everybody knew he was going?
Once he decommitted, I was like,
bro,
yeah.
I told Ricky this last year in the fall in Woodlawn coach's office. I said, Rick, you going to LSU? You know that, right? He
everybody
said,
knew he was
I
going.
ain't going to LSU.
But
I don't even mess with LSU.
He went to Woodlawn for that, what was it? They had like practice or stuff.
What?
Whenever he went out there.
Oh, that was 7-on-7.
Yeah, and he was
at Woodlawn.
No, it was at LSU.
Oh, I was out there on a
not
Saturday.
Not then. We went like
you
2
talking
weeks
about?
ago.
Oh, you talking about when Marcus?
Oh, for the school.
When Marcus had a quarterback camp. Him and his brother had a quarterback camp.
That's why I said like a camp.
RPA. It was Randall Passing Academy. Yeah.
And I kind of asked him. I was like, Rick, you want to come on the show or whatever like that? This was like right around the time with all the stuff was brewing about him at Purdue and LSU and all that. And he was like, I'll come on the show, but I ain't talking about LSU.
Okay.
And I was like,
oh, I got you. So that was like a little bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about
it. Shit going off for you. Yeah, I knew he was going. I mean, I didn't know from him telling me or anybody like that. You just knew, you sensed it, right?
Feel it.
From when he was in here, you kind of sensed it that when you asked him the question, it was like LSU, FSU, and Ole Miss or whatever he said.
SEC.
Right, SEC. Right. So it was so what do you think about I tell you what I think for his decision to go there,
he fit the scheme for sure.
He fit the scheme, but like I always tell these kids and even myself, you go where you're wanted. And even though LSU came on the scene late, I think we all admit that they started really pressing on Rick Lee. You know what I mean? After they looked at the kid from Detroit, and I don't know what their thoughts were. I think they knew they couldn't get Art.
And he said that was the most impressive other quarterback that he saw.
Right.
So.
Right.
So
it was a reason he felt like, okay, that guy was warranted them going after, because he had to know that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So is it okay, you're okay with that and then being underneath him because you were impressed by what he did? Or, I want to stay close to home. Purdue really did not garnish or give me the attention that I wanted going down the stretch or whatever it may have been. But he ultimately flipped, and now he's a Tiger. And we seen, who else? Shelton Sampson. We seen Shelton choose LSU. We have a couple more commitments coming, big-time commitments we saw Jordan Matthews and also Colin Jackson out at Zachary, which we're thinking he's going to choose LSU as well. Yeah. So that's a nice little haul for the Tigers if it stand up over the next couple weeks.
Big lineman in Monroe.
Right. Big boy.
Will Campbell teammate.
Yeah, big boy. So we'll see. But I definitely think that something's gonna happen when it comes down to the decision of who starts for LSU this year, right? If Nussmeier, which I'm anticipating, thinking that's who's gonna be the guy going to the Florida State game. You guys will get into it because y'all been out at practice more than I've been to see what the hell been matriculating out there with the quarterback.
Nussmeier's out right now.
Yeah. He's out. I know with the ankle.
They said he'll be back either tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah,
it was like a little minor ankle injury.
Oh, so it's okay.
He was moving around, throwing a little bit.
Got you. But mobility is his thing. So if he's that's the reason why I always say, dog. I always say this shit, and it's proven. I always say this, like it's fine for you to have mobility and to be able to move and get out of harm's way. That's beautiful. That's perfect. That's your advantage. But when that gets taken away, you have to be able to play from the pocket. You have to be able to throw that ball from the pocket. You have to be able to make that read and get rid of that shit and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So in order for them to be able to do that and get that, that's perfect. Let's go. What's the next one, Jay?
The next one we got was who? They said 10 years ago yesterday. We talked about it on Jordy's show this morning. Tyrann Mathieu got excused from LSU. And we were just talking about
10 years ago today?
Yesterday.
August 10th.
Wow. And you know, it's shout out to the Honey Badger
For some weed, dog.
Shout out to the Honey Badger, man. Tyrann Mathieu. I know he's been on Jordy a lot. I've had the privilege of meeting the great Tiger a bunch of times in different functions. Listen, character, right? When we talk about character, right, of an individual, and 10 years ago, how old is Tyrann Mathieu, OP? How old is he right now today? So he was at LSU then. Yeah. 10 years ago. So how old is he?
30.
He's 30 years old right now. So he was 20 years old at the time.
I'm 20 right now.
That's what I'm saying. How many mistakes have we all made in our damn 20s? And I'm in my 40s. How many mistakes I've made? How many mistakes? And I think that, you know, it ain't how you start, dog. It's how you finish. And why y'all pointing at Jay?
You just pissed me off so bad. Like,
Who?
Just relax.
Why you pointing at Jay though?
It just made me so.
Is there an inside joke I don't know about?
It's not even a joke at all. Like,
what is it then? Why are we laughing?
I don't even want to like.
Tell me why we laughing.
I can't even.
Bro.
You can't talk about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave.
You can't talk about it?
I'm gonna let Jay
Okay,
just
we can't
be
talk
mad.
about it. Move on. Move on. Listen, hey,
I'm gonna text
listen.
it to you.
Going forward, don't bring up nothing on here and laugh about it if y'all don't want to talk about it. This is an organic show, dog. The people want to know, dog. This is organic, dog. Nah, tell me after. The people want to know. Don't bring that up on this show and stuff like that if y'all not going to talk about it. Now the people going to want to know what the hell y'all laugh about. Listen, that's what separates us from everybody else, for real. So, what we was talking about. See, y'all got me
Tyrann
all.
Mathieu.
Yeah, the Honey Badger. He changed it though, dude. He changed his life around. He from a 20-year-old kid that got. I mean, everybody go through all that. The 20-year-old kid to get down. Now you see, like the legalization of marijuana. The shit popping up everywhere. It's legal in so many states now. Guys are being let out of jail for this and so on and so forth. So listen, things happen in different periods based on what's going on. Laws, whatever. He went through his thing. He grew from it, become a great citizen, fantastic football player. I don't know his personal life per se, but from what I've seen, Tyrann Mathieu has done fantastic things for the Louisiana, for the New Orleans area. I see his camp every year and things of that nature. So shout out and my hat's off to Tyrann Mathieu, man, from recovering from that right there. That could have hurt his draft status. That could have hurt his image, and the guy knows everything else. So, you know, shout out to him for turning around. Because there's so many other guys that go through that spiral and go down and never recover from it. So shout out to him. What we got up? What's his next one, Jay?
It's not funny. Like, it's not funny.
What?
It's not funny. It's just the picture is funny. So Marshawn Lynch he got arrested. He got pulled over.
Who?
Marshawn Lynch.
Beast mode.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
I gotta find the car.
He got.
Yeah, get that car.
He got pulled
What
over.
happened?
I got the mug shot.
He was driving drunk with no tire, just the rim.
Where he was at in California?
Yeah, probably.
I think was it Vegas?
I don't know.
Somewhere on the West Coast. It was like 7.
Oh, yep,
it was
Vegas.
Like
it was
something.
Vegas.
He just lived his life like GTA.
No, literally.
So, when did this happen?
Like 2 days.
Like 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago.
But it's not like it's
on
not
the
funny.
9th.
But his
On the 9th.
mugshot, that's 2 days
So
ago.
what he did? He was driving a car along the medium.
He was just doing whatever. But like his mugshot, I saw it and I was like,
Oh, his eyes are closed.
you can't even try to beat this. Like,
Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah, I just saw it on your screen. His eyes were closed.
You can't even try to beat this.
Oh yeah, he was zooted.
Zooted and booted.
Yeah, he was zooted. That's okay. Those Marshawn. I mean, listen, Marshawn has been in the media before about, you know what I'm saying, just his antics and stuff like that. I mean, everybody know what you get when you get with Marshawn Lynch. You know what I mean? So we'll be all right there. But that's funny. Like it looks like he looked like Fetty Wap.
That's not funny, Ro.
Wow.
You do look like Fetty Wap.
Wow, what else we got? What else we got? What else?
Speaking of the media, did you see the post that Antonio Brown had made?
Go ahead.
Did you see that post that Antonio Brown had made?
What did he say?
I think it might have been a.
No, he posted it.
Oh my.
It says, okay, he said, my biggest regret in my career doesn't involve me calling my GM
Who said this?
I'm not gonna say the word because it's not nice.
Antonio Brown.
Yes, he said, my biggest regret in my career doesn't involve me calling my GM a blank or showing up to the Raiders camp late in a high
What
air.
A C word.
The C word?
What you would call
what white men use.
Yeah.
That's the word white men use.
No.
Oh no,
not
that you use to describe white men.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he called it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's from the crib, you know, we use that a lot from the crib.
He said, or showing up to Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet, or throwing rocks at that UPS driver, and it definitely doesn't involve taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jet Stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that, like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at the Red Rocks.
Who said that's what he tweeted?
Man, bro, look, I'm gonna pull it up for you so you can get a visual.
No, because we thought at first it was fake.
I thought it was a fake tweet too, but it's real. Like
real.
this
Like,
is
he
from
posted it.
Like he
Antonio.
posted it on his page, but like Lloyd thought that it was fake because it had like a little at thing. But I think somebody just made the graphic, but he really said that.
Like, bro, this is his page. Like, sincerely, AB.
Like he really said that.
Like, sincerely.
Yeah, but y'all know that's like, you know, it's a lot of mental issues.
That's what I said.
going on,
no,
man.
I think he really has CTE, like walking around.
Dog,
He said it in the group chat. They had a good point though. They
let's
were
be
saying
real.
that Ryan Clark always be trying to give like AB a platform to like show that he not crazy. And
Do
it
what?
just give like AB
Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark be
He
giving
brought
him
him
a
on the
platform.
pivot.
I know, I saw that. He brought him on again?
No,
How many times he been on there?
I'm saying like he was trying to like justify what
Hey,
he
be
was saying.
shitting on Ryan on the pivot.
He was trying to say like trying to justify like what he was saying, like, oh yeah, it is like good watching you play, but it's like you be trying to make it seem like he's not crazy, but every time he shows you he's crazy. Like if if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
AB definitely got some things going on. You know what I mean?
Throwing rocks at a UPS
That
driver.
is crazy,
Crazy.
Like
that, no, the
like
part
as
that's
an NFL player.
Yeah, what are you doing that for?
Coming to
It's
practice
crazy.
in a hot air balloon?
with frozen feet.
I know I said no white women, but I was lying.
He was lying.
What?
He's crazy funny.
In 2020, he was walking on a treadmill, and he made a video. He said, "I know I said no white women, but I was lying."
He was lying.
He was lying.
That's mental illness, man, at its best.
And that's 2020. Like,
You understand
2
me?
years later.
You tweeting some thing like that. That boy says like watching Jesus, man. That boy compared himself to Jesus,
And the
dog.
Beatles.
And then
And
he
the
fell
Be-
out.
Dog.
Then he fell out with the Raiders over a helmet.
Bruh.
That's because he had the deal on the table. He was trying to get that bread the next year. That's
he had
when
the
his
helmet deal?
The helmet deal. He had the
That
helmet
nigga's not
deal. That's
right.
he was about to make some money on the helmets, and they killed it. So that's he snapped. That's why he snapped.
He's
He
not
wasn't about to
right.
make that money. But anybody sit up there and compare
that money
themselves
he
to
got?
he compared himself to the Beatles and compared himself to the boy compared himself to Jesus.
He's not right.
You understand? So that alone, yeah, man. Shout out to that. Hopefully, AB get what he need, man. Get. I know one thing though, dog. Him being the head of this Don Dada music and all this stuff that's going on, that don't help.
Dada music.
What the name of it?
Donda.
Whatever the fuck the name
I'm
of it
gonna
is.
steal that. I'm gonna steal that.
Put that shit
Steal
on
that
AB.
shit, OP. Whatever the name of it is, it ain't helping him. It ain't helping him. It's that old invincibility complex
Do
shit,
your
man. That
dance,
boy
AB.
need that thing.
Do
What else
your
we got?
dance, AB.
That's that. He got a dance.
That's his dance. You ain't
What
never
is
seen
it?
He was doing the what?
Do
What's
your
it called?
dance.
What the hell is that?
Do your dance,
Who?
AB.
It's called to put that shit on.
No, he didn't say put that shit on. It's called.
No, yeah, they would.
Yeah,
They
it's
said, "Put
called
that
Do
shit
Your
on,
Dance, AB.
It's like put that shit on, AB.
So he got a dance?
Yeah,
That's
he got
not
a
what they were saying. They
song.
were saying something else.
Yeah, and they were saying put that shit
Put
on.
that shit
No,
on.
I'm finna show y'all.
That's what the song says.
It's saying-
Put
No,
that
it-
shit
that's
on.
not what it was saying.
Yes.
And then the DJ was like,
How
"Do
all
your
y'all?
dance, AB."
How all
Okay,
y'all
that
done
is
heard
what
the
it is.
song
That
and
is
don't
what
nobody
it is.
know what the hell the
That's-
song
no, that's what he
said?
said. That's what he
all,
said.
all y'all got different meanings of what the song
That's what he
means.
said. Sorry.
Because it's Antonio
I was
Brown.
loud.
You
I'm
never
gonna
know
go.
what you
I'm
gonna
gonna
get.
go with Stu. Stu know.
I was
Yeah.
loud and wrong. Sorry.
Do your dance, AB. Oh, you seen that? You seen that quarterback drill from Texas A&M?
The drill.
You didn't see the drill?
Yeah,
They
nah.
jumping
With
over
Jimbo?
the damn bag? No, with Damian Craig. Oh, I gotta
Oh, Damian Craig ain't the quarterback coach.
Man,
He a wide receiver coach.
Well, he was still running with.
I don't know what you talking about.
Hold up.
What, a jump pass?
Man, they look crazy.
It was a jump pass. What was it?
It was like a drill. They was just doing a drill, going over a bag, like jumping over the bag and making a throw.
And making the throw. But Damian Craig don't coach receivers, dog, unless he done changed positions. I was just out there. They ain't changed no positions. You got it? What else we got?
One of my favorite shows growing up, The Breakfast Club. They're like stopping the show.
The Breakfast Club?
Wait, no, they not stopping the show.
Yeah, Angela,
they're not-
Angela
No,
Yee just
they-
leaving.
No, yeah.
No,
yeah,
they were
Angela
saying that
Yee-
they're not having no more Breakfast Club.
Nah.
No, because, okay, so look on Twitter, Angela Yee said the Breakfast
Webby.
Club as exact. That's what I'm laughing at. The Breakfast Club as we know it is officially over. But she was saying like as we know it with them three, it's still gonna be going on.
Why people didn't say that? They're
Because
making it seem
Charlamagne,
like
he had re-signed with iHeartRadio and them like 5 years ago, and like he got like a long contract with them. So I knew like
That shit was over money, dog.
yeah, she wanted.
They weren't giving that girl no money.
But she got her
Even
own
though
show.
Angela Lee, what her name?
Angela.
She definitely irreplaceable, dog.
Webby.
they wrote me the Webby interview on
Angela,
I was trying so
and,
hard not to mess up that woman's name.
hey,
so
listen,
easy.
Angela
But, like, I
Yee.
We
just
gonna
thought of
call her
Webby and I
Angela.
just did-
Angela replaceable though,
But you
dog.
gotta
That's
pull
some
up
names
the-
on this one.
That's what everybody
You
was
gotta play
saying.
the
That's
though,
what I'm
like,
Breakfast Club
saying.
she
video.
not even all that.
Some of the shit
Wait,
she
what?
be.
The OG
Sometimes when
Breakfast
she
Club
be
video.
chiming in on that shit, that should be crazy anyway. It be sound she don't be know what be going on. But look, shout out to her. She got a new deal. Get your money, Angela.
Ro, you gotta listen.
Oh yeah.
thing.
Let me show you the Texas A&M video real quick.
Where is that?
They look crazy.
You gonna put it on the thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up there.
Put it up there, dog. Put on the big one.
I'm letting it load real quick. It's loading. Give me the little circle.
She was talking about this loading shit be taking too long, dog. It's like standing in the line.
It
You
is.
get in the club or some shit like that.
Not always.
Irritating.
Hello.
Boy, I'm telling you, I hate lines. Fiance tell you, I hate lines. I ain't never stood in lines though, especially not getting no club. Let me tell you, once I got to LSU, lines, thing of the past.
That man was good.
Real shit.
That man was
From the
good.
time I touched down to date, lines are a thing of the past. We ain't
Bro,
standing
so
no
do you go to,
lines,
like-
dog.
Do you go to Six Flags?
Nah, I ain't standing no line there either. But nah, that is a quarterback.
What's the only
Listen,
thing
man, this drill right here is them stepping over an opponent.
Like on the ground. Like
Yeah.
That's what I
and-
thought it was. But
Yeah,
it
look,
looked
that's your
crazy.
boy Johnson right there,
Yeah.
14, baby.
They not getting over nobody jumping like that.
Yeah, but listen, this is to get loose. This isn't full speed. You understand? And Damian Craig. Only reason Damian Craig doing it is because he played quarterback for Jimbo and he trying to relive his youth.
This
That's my
look
dog
crazy.
DC right there. But listen, these drills, you use these drills. It's gonna be a
You
little
did
faster.
say that. You did say that because sometimes y'all run some crazy stuff.
That's what I'm
and
telling you.
It just happened one day.
This is a good drill. You gotta the problem, and I'm gonna tell you, it looked crazy, but it's a drill that you're definitely gonna do and you're gonna experience while playing. Just because it's random that you throw the football, dog, as a quarterback from the position to where you start. Where you just drop back, hit your 5 foot and throw the football. Somebody's coming across, somebody's coming behind, somebody's in there to disrupt that shit. And sometimes it's a jump pass. I mean, you seen this back.
Jump pass.
Yeah, that's similar to the thing. You got to be able to, and all this is throwing on 1 foot when you're getting connected. He's showing them how to get that shoulder square and to just flick that wrist instead of you coming through with a full. Just flip that wrist and get it out your hand. So this is a good drill. I'm gonna have to steal it.
It's like a situation of like a 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You could,
or just any situation where you moving up in the pocket and maybe first down and the DB and excuse me, first down and you move up in the pocket and the running back done settled right in front of you and you got to jump over and get the ball to him, or even on the goal line. So that's a great drill. That's a good drill. Yeah. Absolutely. Got to get that ball up high and boop. Yeah. What else we got?
But I was going back to the Breakfast Club stuff because everybody was like posting like their favorite clips on Twitter and stuff like that, and they were all just Charlamagne is crazy.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't like Charlamagne though.
A lot of people don't like him. Birdman don't like him.
Oh, that's clear.
Is this the video?
Yeah, but that shit with Charlamagne for me go back to that whole thing that popped up with him and that little girl that he did dirty back in the day, and then he tried to cover all that shit up and talk about it. And he's just like, I give him a little grace. Don't laugh, OP, for real.
He is a little weirdo.
Supreme Court causing your anxiety.
Weirdo, man. Weirdo.
Like
and then
he ran the #1 hip hop station in the biggest market in the country for 10 years.
Still a weirdo.
Nobody else can say they did that.
You're right. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking his acclimate, but for you to do that bullshit that he did early to a little girl and then promise her family, I'm gonna take care of you and I'm gonna do all this.
Look.
Where is that?
Angela
Lee ain't do nothing in that interview just now, and ain't affect the interview at all. I'm glad she got her own shit, but listen, the Breakfast Club not really gonna miss Angela Lee that much. That little podcast she got don't do that.
It would be okay.
She be talking crazy anyway. What else you got? She be talking crazy.
The last one that I had was Serena Williams announced her.
Oh Lord. Serena.
The day we dreaded.
Hey, my little sister had Serena up on her wall when we were growing up. Samantha, you remember you had Serena? She had Serena. Listen, my mama put plaster her wall and tennis. Serena Williams, Venus Williams. My little sister ain't played a lick of tennis, dog. You hear me? Not a lick of tennis, dog. You would have thought, dog. You would have thought my mama was breeding a tennis player, dog. Or she even asked for it. It was just totally out of left field, dog. She didn't even like tennis. But Serena, oh, man. I know they say all the greats, it got to come to an end. But I tell you. And it, bruh, with Venus and Serena, it ain't even, I mean, it is about, the tennis. It is about, but it's more about the culture, bro. It's more about what they've meant for the culture, for black women, for black people, for especially black young girls that want to play tennis. You know what I mean? Like we all seen King Richard, the movie, and just like everything they've gone through, all the scrutiny they've gone through, growing up in that era where you already know the racism that went with seeing two talented black girls coming into your country club, wanting to take advantage of them because of their athletic prowesses. Whoa. And having a father and a mother like they had that was strong, that didn't stick to the narrative, that educated these girls, that took them out of school for 3-4 years before they even started their pro career, and they learned languages. They learned so many different languages, Spanish, French, what you got lanterns and shit up there for? What the hell was that?
That was an ad. YouTube be on the ad stuff.
Oh, I thought that looked like Star Wars.
That was an ad. It was YouTube.
But, like I was saying, that really guided their career, man, and didn't falter to the norm and didn't succumb to the pressure of everybody wanting them to get going now and making the money off of them. And look how beautiful these women have grown into be and at the top of their game. And, I mean, listen, Serena's arguably the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Venus is right there. And it's just remarkable. And then, then you put it to just how globally, right? Yeah. Globally, how their brand has just transformed women's tennis. When you have people like Chris Everett, Navratilova and all these women that white women that say that they're the reason why the sport is as big as it is now is remarkable. And then, man, bro, you just go into everything that they've done, the business, the fashion. I mean, everything.
More tennis is too,
bro.
But even in Serena pro career, like everything like they faced in her childhood, but
growing up,
but even in her pro career, like within the tennis association and stuff, like she received hell for every little thing she did. Whether, and you know, like they say the black woman is the most disrespected person in America. Like around the world, the whole tennis association don't even like. They wouldn't even like really put respect on, like she made them respect her. You know? She spoke up and did the things, you know, like she really was courageous throughout her whole professional career too. And
her and
Venus together.
You know what I'm saying? Her and Venus.
They be always trying to say that she was cheating, or if she would react, they would be giving her the most hell. Say, you know, she acting manly, she was taking steroids, most drug tests. Like she been through the most scrutiny.
Been through it because of her build, her smart, and how she dominated. They couldn't fathom that all this is natural. They couldn't fathom that these two black girls or this one black girls could dominate the sport like this. That's why they were they were not blackballed, but they were ostracized whenever they went into the clubs, whenever they went into these predominantly all white clubs. You know what I'm saying? You saw the story, man, in the bar and all that. So, and look, when you talk about paving the way, you feel me?
Like Coco Gauff now.
That's what I'm talking about. All of them. When you talk about when you talk about paving the way in a sport for real, you know what I mean? Like tennis for black, brown, Mexican, Puerto Rican, all that minority. That's who you look to. That's who you look to. Venus Williams and Serena Williams. Now you got to understand, it goes into deeper than that when you think about the age that they started in this and everything that they had to overcome personally. You know what I mean? Own personal, I'm jealous of my sister, or I'm not jealous of my sister because you got put on before me, or all that stuff that we go through as humans. Now to grow up in a segregated time where all this is also taking place. And you have to get through that to be successful. You feel me?
Together.
You got to get through that to be successful, but it shows why they are as tight as they are. It shows why they are successful, because they went through it, bro. They went through it, and now you see them giving back, and have for their entire career. So my hats, my everything goes off to the great, great, great Serena Williams, man. What she said, what's her last one? The U.S. Open, what is it?
Yeah, it's the U.S. Open.
U.S. Open. I'm sure that's going to be the most watched U.S. Open ever, right? That's going to be the most watched U.S. Open ever, just to see the great Serena Williams go out on top. I hope she go out with that dub, huh? She got, that'll be dope. But so even if she don't, dog,
she
like,
got nothing to prove to nobody.
I hope that them people, though, that, you know, that's why I always say, dog, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. So I hope them people that was shunning, that was hating, that didn't want to give the respect that was definitely due to her, I hope they take this opportunity with her announcing that that's going to be, you know, her last match.
Gonna be so expensive.
I hope they take the time to plan something grand, to do something to really honor her, let her know how she's paved the way. And even if they don't do it, whoever else is, somebody else do it, whoever, you know what I mean? Do it, man. Honor her, to let her know what she's done, how she's paved the way. Give her flowers, dog. Give her all them damn flowers. She deserves every single bit of it, man. And shit, hats off to Serena Williams, man. She's represented herself, her family, the culture, black women, young black women. She's not the example, dog. She's not the rule, dog. She's the example and always has been. Ever since she's entered, ever since we heard about it, ever since she started on this great career that she's eventually about to cap off at the U.S. Open. So I go on and on about Serena Williams, dog, because she's just a monster. That's the GOAT there, baby. That's the real GOAT right there, baby. They throw that GOAT shit around like it's, you feel me? Serena Williams, the real GOAT, though.
She owned the Mount Rushmore.
I'm telling you. Serena Williams. She and who?
She was Jordan.
Ro, if you had to make a Mount Rushmore of athletes, who would you go with?
Damn.
I'm gonna go. Mine is
athletes.
Athletes, like overall,
just athletes,
just pure athletes. Mine,
yeah.
Bo Jackson, Mike Tyson.
Athletes
ever, just greatest athlete. Bo Jackson is just one of one.
Mm.
Bo Jackson, Mike Tyson. I would say MJ up there
for sure.
And 4, I mean, Serena, they got to be up there.
Serena got to be up there,
but
for sure.
I mean, you got Dion.
Dog, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you talking about athletes, dog? How many people you know play professional baseball and football and was raw?
Just Dion and Bo.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
knows.
that's why when you said athletes,
that's
why I said athletes, because when you say athletes, I gotta really like look at athletes. You know what I mean? I ain't hear you say LeBron.
I said that's what I'm trying to see.
I'll go LeBron. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
LeBron up there too. But LeBron don't play multiple sports like.
I know.
But I know he was an all-state football player, all-state basketball.
You talking about athlete? You can see what a cat could do on the court. Athletically.
Yeah, basketball is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know, dog. But I know for sure, Dion and Bo are in my top 5. When we talking about athletes, Dion and Bo are in my shit, dog.
Bo don't break that hip. He greatest ever.
Dion and Bo are in mine, dog. And then honestly, bro, like, I know y'all don't probably think about a guy like this, but I think I think about a guy like Champ Bailey. You know what I mean? Like Champ, dog. I seen Champ to me is a monster that nobody don't really talk about too much. I know
he's
he's
part of the reason why the Broncos won them Super Bowls.
Champ a monster, man.
Champ,
like I seen
Champ Bailey was my favorite player.
And I seen Champ do it on both sides of the ball, personally. Like he's a monster athlete. You know what I mean?
Some boys said LWTD.
That's what I'm saying, dog. So those would be my top 2. I definitely put MJ in there. I can't go too much deeper than that, but those are.
It's like Mike.
Hell no.
I wanna be.
Hell
like
no.
Mike.
That's a good question. But boy, I could go top 3 right there. That's about it. Man, think about Vince Carter. Think about guys like that.
That's why I couldn't even
Travis
give you the top
Minor. Guys like that.
I thought about Ray Lewis.
As an athlete?
Ray Lewis
not gonna go with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm out.
Definitely not gonna go with you on that one. See what I'm talking about?
Athlete, but I don't know if I call him.
That's why I thought
he had a hell of a career.
He did. He's a great linebacker.
He's one of the best linebackers.
100%. 100%. I put him in there at the bottom tier though.
Yeah, he ain't no top tier athlete. Are we talking about pure athleticism?
Yeah, he's an athlete.
Now you know who else might be up there? Odell.
I was thinking.
Oh hell yeah.
Dude
hell yeah.
Professional soccer.
Yeah, he might be in the top 5.
Yeah.
That
phenomenal athlete. Yes.
Ray Lewis would go on Mount Rushmore, but when we talk
linebacker, he going Mount Rushmore
linebacker.
Yeah.
He going to Mount Rushmore linebackers for sure.
Yeah, it's him at LT.
But you're right. OBJ Raw in multifaceted. You done seen that boy kick field goals, jump. Like I mean,
but think about the future too, like what dudes like Joe Burrow, like how his career has started to elevate, and like how in 20
gotta continue.
Like in
shout out to Joe Burrow, just had a surgery.
He might not be the
Be
greatest
back soon.
athlete ever.
He ain't no athlete.
He might talk. We're
talking
talking
about athlete.
athleticism, TJ. We're not talking about greatness in terms of
They
intangibles
position.
and all of that. We're talking about greatest.
That's my problem child over
Like
there.
freak of
dog.
nature.
Pure athletes, like athleticism, out this world. Like Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. That's 2 athletes that you can't.
2 athletes. Hey, Archie Manning.
True.
Just to go back to the old school.
Archie used to be
fucking monster, dog. Lord have
Like,
mercy.
they took this man whole jersey off and he still threw that ball. Like,
Whole jersey just had the shoulder pads on.
Was that Ole Miss?
Nah, that was with the Saints.
With the Saints?
Yeah.
But I know he played with like a broken
I was in the
hand at Ole
dome.
Miss too.
Yeah.
No, Archie was a monster.
Yeah.
Shit. And none of his son. I hope. I mean, Art got a little bit. But none of. He got a little bit. He got a little bit of the elusiveness. You know what I'm saying? He got a little bit, but it's all good. Not much. He got a little bit of it. A little bit of it. A little bit of it.
I don't know if he. I guess.
Who, Art?
Yeah.
Hey, where he
We gonna
going to
see?
Texas?
Yeah. We're going to see.
You definitely right. You're gonna see.
And they signed 3 5-star offensive linemen last year.
No, but this is the
2020.
thing. Well, that's dope there. And once he committed, it's just a snowball effect. Listen, the man gonna make sure he gets straight now. He gonna make sure he's straight, baby. Shit. But look, I think just to wrap it up, dude. I think LSU did a great job this week with recruiting, especially when you talk about keeping guys in state. Now let's see. We know they're gonna make a late push for Jordan Matthews.
I hope so.
With his decision coming up, right? You got to make a late push for Jordan Matthews, right? So they're gonna.
If he does commit and have a big thing, still flip.
Yeah, I mean, until you sign, you're not there.
I was telling him I'd call every day. I'd be calling every day.
Yeah. So.
He'd have to block me.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you recruit, though. You got to recruit that way. So Jordan Matthews got his commitment coming up. We got Colin Jackson with his commitment coming up. Big offensive lineman. When's his?
They haven't released a date, but they're saying he's trying to make it before around this timeline. Like this August.
Well, so by this time next week, we should have some more commitments. And I mean, going off of this week alone, LSU's done well.
Top 6 class.
They've done
Number
well.
6 class. They get Colin Jackson on Saturday, and you get Zalance Hurd. They might be a top 3 class.
And what if they get Jordan too?
And they get you throwing Jordan. You throwing Jordan Matthews. You a number 1 class. That's the number 1 class.
Yeah. He's that big of a deal,
They
though.
gotta do it.
He's a big deal, man.
Huge deal.
And I wish it was a better rapport. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Rapport. Yeah. Wish it was better rapport with. Damn, I keep.
And Ro, I think I'm with you.
I wish it was better rapport with.
In terms of what you said about Sunday player.
Oh yeah,
like when you see him,
right?
Sunday guy.
Yeah, no.
Like I done seen Stingley up close and personal.
Right.
And it was like, okay, that's a Sunday player. You know what it's like.
When you see him.
When you see him.
Yeah.
K-Shine, Sunday player. You know he's going to play on Sundays.
You're right.
You see Jordan Matthews, like, yeah, that kid is going to play on Sundays.
Yeah. I'm with Jay. I hope they put a late push on him and they
If he
somehow
at the table,
miraculously flip him. But I doubt it. But listen, man, anyway you go, good luck to that kid. But he's a phenomenal kid. We're going to be seeing a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure, wherever you go, because I'm sure everybody that's recruited him in the SEC. So, we'll see him at some point. Good luck to him. We got a bunch of announcements coming up, though, that we're going to be privy to.
Oh, boy, DJ just announced.
DJ?
DJ Delmore just committed.
Where DJ going?
Was it
Southwest?
Southwest Missouri State? Is that it?
That was one of them? Big shout out to DJ, man. DJ's
Southeast Missouri.
Southeast Missouri. Listen, y'all got a good one. We're going to have to get on the road to go see my dog because he's going to be a great, great addition to that program. DJ is one of the hardest workers I've ever been around ever since I've known that kid. And he is going to continue to flourish with his great family a part of, great dad. DJ is going to do great things at that school.
Fierce
bro.
competitor.
Oh, he's going to, man.
Fierce
absolutely.
competitor.
DJ would knock your ass off, boy. Big shout out to the boy DJ Woodlawn, Ricky Collins at Woodlawn. Who else? Jordan Matthews, JYD, Clayton out there, everybody, man.
Man, I was telling them JYD, that's the
Fat Daddy, all them boys, man. Y'all, good luck to you guys this year. Good luck to the Zachary. Good luck to Catholic High. They're going to be battling this year. High, they're going to be battling this year, dude. Battling. Great season. We're going to be back next week, man. Who knows what's going to happen, who's going to be, but we're going to feature this LSU thing all the way up to the beginning of the season, to the FSU LSU game. And once again, man, House United, LSU versus SU. First ever meeting. We want to unite the city. We want to bring them all together. We want this to be a yearly event, tailgate, mix, mingle, parties, great time, good food as usual, great atmosphere as usual. And let's not forget that great band, baby. Let's not forget that great band, baby. That's going to take the human jukebox taken by storm, Tiger Stadium, baby. I can't wait. Oh, man, I think we just give them the whole thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Give them the whole little section over there. Just let them do their thing.
That's going to be dope, man. I'm looking forward to that. The city looking forward to it. Everybody embrace it, dude. Embrace it. No negativity, all positivity, man. Embrace that thing. Let's have a good time. Let's do it again next year and the year after and the year after, and open it up to Grambling and open it up to, everybody, so they get a piece of this pie and keep that money here in Baton Rouge, keep that money here in the state of Louisiana, uplift these HBCUs, put that money in their pocket. You know what I mean? Uplift these programs. It's just like Deion said, it can't just be Jackson State. It has to trigger all the way through the HBCUs to uplift that whole system. It ain't just, one team and one popular guy and Deion Sanders with his popularity and all his friends at the NFL and so on and so forth. It has to be a domino effect with guys that aren't as popular. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Deion, LSU played Florida State week 1, and their coach might be on the hot seat. You think if they let him go, you think Deion would jump to Florida State?
I think that from what I've seen from him, he has a mission with the HBCU. And but you also know that guys as competitive as he is, they also want to step up. Mm-hmm. So, I think that if he feels like there's no any further that he can do at that level, and he can help that level more by being at a higher level, because I do think that Deion is 100% trying to revamp that HBCU program. I do think that he wants to be the person, the lead, the one that brought it back. I do think that. And so from that standpoint, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if the FSU comes calling, even though they say alma mater, that's this, that's that. Maybe you want to revamp that and think that it may help. You know what I mean? So I definitely could see him.
He's more purpose at Jackson State.
More purpose. But
and he seemed like a purpose type of guy.
Right, right. It ain't the bread. It ain't the bread for sure, because I'm sure at the beginning he put out more money than was coming in, him personally. You know what I'm saying? And not probably just him out his pocket, but just calling your friends, doing this.
People around.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised though, after like a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got that dog Travis Hunter over there.
He gonna recruit, dog. That's the one thing about Prime. He gonna recruit.
I'm ready to see him this year.
Yeah. Hunter gonna be good.
Offense and defense.
Motherfucker good. Got to.
Eddie might punt return kick.
Got to. Mm-hmm. Leave him out there. Why you gonna take him off? He gonna dominate. It's gonna be nice though. It's gonna be good to watch him. Shout out to Prime, man, in Jackson State. Hey, we gonna be back, man. We gonna be back next week for the whole damn crew. Y'all see him. We gonna be back next week on. Where my dogs at?